Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh Boy is down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Yo, welcome back to another Sunday episode of Roadium Radio. Before we actually get started and I introduce my guest, my very special guest, I want to share with you guys a little story real quick. This was on a Sunday, I want to say, if I'm correct, 2003. And I was walking to a Mexican market on a Sunday to go buy like some pan for the menudo, you know, in the morning. And I heard a song blasting. And it was so weird because caught my attention really quick because the song was so different. As I turned the corner to the market and I'm walking, I see this lady selling champurrado, tamales and everything. And she has a little boombox and she's bumping a song. And I asked her, what song is that? She said, se llama No Hay Manera. That's what she told me. And I was like, who sings it? So she showed me the CD. I looked at it and I was like, I got to get this shit. So without further ado, my boys, Akwid.
Yeah.
What's cracking?
How you doing, brother?
¿Qué tal? Mucho gusto. It's a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Sergio.
Francisco.
Thank you for being here, man. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to have you guys here.
I think the honor is really all ours. Shit, you've been an inspiration to us since we were small.
Well,
people don't even know.
Yeah,
this is an untold story.
Well, you know what? Maybe you can share with us later or share with me off camera or whatever. But I'm truly blessed to have you guys here. I remember we have a mutual friend, Shotgun.
Right. Shotgun. John Contreras. What up?
John Doe. Much love to John Doe.
Shout out to John. What up?
I called him up and I said, dude, I got to get Akwid on my show. He goes, oh, I could try to make that happen. I was like, please do. I told him that. Please do. Okay. And anyways, he contacted you guys. We exchanged numbers and we talked. And now you guys are here. And I'm glad that the public is now tuning in and finding out who Akwid is. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, but before we get into Akwid, before we get into Univision, what are you guys doing now? What are you guys going to be doing in the future? I kind of want to bring it back a little bit to where did you guys grow up? Beginning with Sergio.
When we came from Mexico, we came in undocumented. We landed in the Pico Union area, right in the outskirts of downtown LA.
Okay.
9th in Burlington. The street was called 9th Street back then. Now it's called James M. Wood. And then we moved to South Central LA.
Okay.
And that's where we did our remainder of our time. So originally we were born in Michoacán, in Jiquilpan, Michoacán, in a ranch called Los Remedios.
Much love to Michoacán.
Much love. Much respect, man. That's our groundbreaker.
So Frank, how old were you when you came here?
I was 3 years old.
3 years old?
I was 3.
No, it's 5.
5, so 2 year difference. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody thinks you guys are twins for some reason.
No, we used to use that to our advantage, pero ya.
No se puede.
Okay. So 3 and 5. So you guys moved to the outskirts of what are you going to use?
Downtown LA.
Downtown LA. South Central, pretty much.
Well, the Pico Union area was not considered South Central. Pico Union is Pico Union. You know, is where Psycho Round viene de ahí.
It was that was a Latino community. Pico Union area. And then South Central, you know,
was predominantly black around those times. Yeah, era unas culturas totalmente diferentes.
Okay.
Culture clash, if you would.
Yeah,
if you
and
would
today
say.
South Central is pretty much still.
Now it's pretty much Latino.
Yes, pretty much Latino. Yeah, you're right. We've taken over. You know, well, as a matter of fact, we'll get into everything that we've taken over now. So now, what elementary school do you guys attend?
We went to 10th Street School, 10th Street Elementary, which was there, also part of the Pico Union area. It was right around 10th and
Union, Olympic and Union.
And Union, roughly, those cross streets. Okay. So we grew up as, regular Mexicans with no English, ESL classes.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. You know, I hit the school system at the age of 5. You know, I think I started in the 5th grade. I didn't start in kindergarten. And Francisco did the same as well, but this fucker turns out to be gifted, so they put him in gifted classes, and I was the fucking burro.
Really?
Yeah, fucking right.
Wow.
Yeah, but I the thing is that I knew a little bit more English and a little bit more of stuff because these guys would come home from school. You know, I didn't go to school yet, and I would pick up on the English words. They were like, because my older brother and my sister, they would all already were already learning English, so they knew it a little better. So I would listen to words and what they talked about. So most of the shit I learned was from them. So when I started school, I was a little bit more. I learned the shit at home. You know what I mean? What do you guys trying to teach me? We were paisa, you know, from the bottom of the food chain, if you would say at that time. We got to the United States in 1978.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Right, and we're still citizens of Mexico, but we went through the entire system. You know, ESL. Got an opportunity to grow up in the Mexican community in the Pico Union area, and then moving to South Central, and it was a complete different, like you said, culture clash.
I was around 10 years old around that time when you guys got here then. And it's funny because in my house, we lived in Compton until I was about like 9 years old when my family got here from Mexico. Though I was born here in the city of Torrance, I have 5 brothers and 4 sisters. The majority of them were born in Mexico, some in Torreon, Coahuila, some in Juarez, and some in Tijuana. Okay, and then some of us.
You're all spread out. You're all over the place.
Yes, and at my house, I grew up with a dad that aquí no se habla el inglés. You know.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, you couldn't speak Spanish. I mean English at home.
Shit.
And so Spanish was actually my first language. You know.
Right.
So I would speak English at home, but when you grow up, you speak more English than you do with Spanish. You know. So actually, my Spanish started to get kind of bad. But
it's the same way is you learn the English here and then all of a sudden you use it more and now both of los idiomas they get fucked up,
right?
You know, so that's how I feel like I am. Like my Spanish is not good and my English is not good, so they're both just I can navigate with both como están de madreados, you know, but it is what it is.
So when you got to go to elementary school, did you guys graduate at 6th grade or did it change?
No, we from the 5th grade. From 5th grade, you went to Berendo Junior High, which was our junior high home school.
Okay.
Belmont High, and then was Belmont High.
Right. I attended Berendo 1 year. I didn't like it. I thought it wasn't for me. I forged a lot of signatures of my mom, and I swapped schools.
Yo también.
He switched himself schools.
Like wait,
5th grade.
Yes.
In the 5th grade, 6th grade.
This guy switched himself schools, fooling the system that the parents did the whole thing.
Yes, because I was not okay with Berendo Junior High. Like it was just too regular.
That's gifted right there. He was gifted right there.
That's just insanity. You know, we'll get into it later. But I put myself through college. I also forged my mom's name. I got some loans under her name, and she found out when she was trying to buy a house. And I was like, I need to go to school.
Wow,
this guy's a fraud.
Yeah.
I've been working the system since I was a kid. Sin querer.
It's crazy.
Wow, that's dope though. I like that. So you guys go to junior high. Now let me ask you, junior high. Did you guys graduate junior high school?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't. Yo tampoco. I didn't. So and I say that kind of shamefully because believe me, not a lot of my mom's kids, like my brothers, graduated school. Period. Now, what high school did you guys attend to?
Mid-City.
It's a magnet school.
Okay.
It's on Adams and Arlington.
In South Central, in the Crenshaw district.
Okay. And did you graduate?
Yes.
Nope.
Otra vez?
No.
This feels like an interview.
Here's the thing.
Like a job interview. I graduated.
I don't find shame in not graduating from junior high because I know mentally where I was. Like, I don't feel that I failed junior high. I feel like it was just there was really nothing there from. At the time, I was skateboarding. I did school for like 2 weeks once.
Skateboard Pete right there, the Mexican skateboard. Pete.
It doesn't. I felt that there's nothing for me to learn there. Like I just really felt that it not slowing me down, but it wasn't challenging me in any way. When I went to high school, I mean the first what happened in senior year is that I was giving my homework to my girlfriend at the time. And she would do it for me because I felt like this is a waste of time for me.
You just put her on blast.
Well, shut up. You know what it is?
Well, I'm gonna hail you, both of you guys' as shame. All right.
I don't have no
Steve
shame.
Harvey,
shame.
has other than a comedian, he's a motivational speaker.
Yes.
And Steve Harvey gave a speech at one of the high schools, telling the kids, you don't necessarily have to finish school to be successful. I am a product of that. Which is the principal came up to him and said, "Don't be spitting this garbage to my kids because I want them all to graduate."
Right.
So there is a balance between both things.
Yes,
You know, he's
yes.
absolutely correct, and so is she.
Right.
But he's saying this, I think, to the kids that were like us, that we really have no trajectory in where we were going in life, and we really had to make use of our talent. You know, something natural. I think that's what Steve Harvey was meaning. So I think you guys did the right thing. Both of you.
No, but I was gonna say what I was getting to was that
Non-high school diploma having motherfuckers.
in junior high, right? In junior high, they used to have a dance every Friday.
Yes.
Right, and there was a DJ. The dude that DJ'd the parties used to go to that junior high.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't have equipment at the time. You know, I was still mixing off of 2 tape decks. And I would tell the dude, you know, just let me DJ. Trust me, I know what to do. I know how to do it. Dude, they never let me DJ. But at the time, I already knew in my head, like, you know, I wanted to do something with that, with DJing.
Yes.
I think that we already had the Gemini's by that time or whatever. But, you know, they never, to me, that's what I was looking for. And at the time, just school it didn't feel that.
Right.
It would feel like that's.
Right. Okay. Let me share something with you that maybe you might have heard in another interview. Where I think I messed up at was growing up. My brother took me to a club. As soon as I graduated 6th grade, I was 11 years old. And after that, it was the 18 and over
You went
club.
to a club at the age of 11?
11 years old.
I couldn't even get into the Radiotron. Nadie me llevó, güey.
Hey, one time I went to go see.
You're cutting into a story. Let him finish fucking story. Go ahead, Tony.
So my brother takes me, and that point on, I'll be honest with you, I saw him DJ. I saw how he controlled the crowd with the music.
Your older brother.
My older brother, yes.
Oh, so you were a control freak. You fell in love with the power.
Yes, the power, the money and the power, brother. So lo que pasó, I knew at that moment that's what I wanted to do. So all I thought about was music and women, bro. That's all I thought about.
Because that's what it was, right? At the time, if you had money, you had.
Salud.
At the age of 11, that's the fucking mentality,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like they say, life ain't nothing but bitches and money, right?
That's it.
I mean, that
That's
song
a
said
song.
it best.
Kids,
That's
don't believe that. Don't believe that, kids. It's
the
not
fuck-
true.
Whatever. It's the
not
fucking
true.
truth.
It's not true.
Unless
So-
my kids are watching, it ain't true.
So you remind me a lot of me because you wanted to DJ already. Right. I started DJing my school dances in 8th grade.
Man, I
See,
was
that's what I
jealous
mean.
of you.
That's what I mean.
I at Berendo, the one and only year I did attend, like he says, they had a school dance every Friday for 10 cents. You can either go
No, the dance was 25 cents.
25 cents, or you can pay 10 cents to go watch a fucking movie in the auditorium.
Yeah.
But I remember the DJ seeing him and saying, "This motherfucker's so whack."
Yeah.
I wish I could spin, you know. But I was nobody, and that I think was part of the motivation. Said I don't fucking belong in this school.
Right.
I need to get the fuck out of here. I was a kid, dude. I was a 6th grader, and there was just too many things going through my head that were irrelevant to education. I was a bad student. I was a below C average student, and it was not because I was stupid. It's because I was unmotivated by the school. You have so much more to offer. I was debated by my mom and dad daily through my entire life, only because I failed to accept the terms that were being given to me. I was like a fucking attorney.
Yeah, he was. You could say he was the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
Like his opinion was always against the grain.
And it wasn't that I was against what they're saying. It was just, you know, how can you be feeding me this when I can see right through it, kind of deal.
Right,
and it was the same with the school system. I see it as a young kid, you know, and I was able to get myself out of that. Now, that was self-motivated. I didn't have fucking motivational speaker, and there was no internet. That was just, you know what? A la chingada. I'm not cool with this. Doses.
Right.
Kick rocks, motherfucker.
And then you went ahead and signed that up.
I don't even know what my mom signed like. Here was the advantage. My mom, I think, only went to like the 2nd grade in Mexico. All right? So you can imagine what her writing is like. So her writing was really chicken scratch.
Yeah, it was
I
really
could write better than her.
Right, right.
So when I signed, she looked like a fucking doctor. Her name compared to her original signature when she registered me in school, that I doubted those files were gonna get pulled
I don't
up.
think they even cross-reference.
And I did it all through the mail, because the mail was the way to do things back then.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
You can't fucking FaceTime nobody.
Right,
My mom
right.
can't go to fucking school for a conference because she needs to work, you know? And I don't know. I just figured that out. So you know what? They'll never fucking know.
Right. Okay. So now we're out of high school. When did you get encouraged to either start DJing or start rapping? Who was it or what was it that you saw or that you heard that you said, "Le voy a calar," you know, I want to try that shit?
Well, it's something that progressed naturally in a sense, because like I said, by when I was in junior high, or maybe early when we started high school, is when we got our first turntables. But from listening to, I mean, I used to record the K-Day weekends, either Saturday or Friday from World on Wheels and all that shit. Like, I have tapes of that shit in my attic, the garage. The Roadium tapes. We were just talking about how the first time I ever heard Mr. Postman, mixed.
And we gotta talk about that.
With hip hop, and I was like, what the fuck? I already knew the oldie, but hearing it with to me, like with the music, hip hop, it was just like, holy shit, this is limitless.
Right.
And that's when we started getting the idea of we wanted to do it. Ultimately, we wanted to be a DJ with 4 turntables. That was our dream.
Okay. People don't understand how epic this interview is because it's so out of the norm. And it's going to speak a truth that people don't know, in the sense of where our influences and encouragement came for this. We were considered the bottom of the food chain in the minority, living in the outskirts of downtown LA. Yeah. But when he explained to me the concept of turntables, I didn't fucking understand. When he told me they're mixing 2 songs, I couldn't understand because I've never visually seen it. We didn't have no fucking TV, and I didn't have an audible thing that somebody can tell me what it was. So when we started hearing that shit that you guys were doing, it was fucking groundbreaking, and it was an influential, complete out of our culture, completely out. It was a fascination that we found audibly. I didn't know what you looked like.
We wanted to recreate what you guys were doing on 4-track live.
Live. Okay.
Live. That originally, and then when the music element, the hip hop element came into it, and that whole thing, the very first time I heard the fucking sample, I could say personally for me, the very first Chicano rap song I've ever heard was "I'm Not Your Puppet," because it was the first song that sampled an oldie and made it a song into a hip hop. It wasn't in a mix. It was actually something that made it into the mainstream. And I was like, okay, this is some other shit now. Like, this is turned into something else. So that whole era for us, it was more inspirational because at the time when he started writing lyrics, when I was already making beats on the 8-second sampler,
he was my DJ, by the way. This motherfucker's still my DJ till today.
One of his first raps was basically a mimic of that high C.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I used to think I was fucking High C, second to none. Little Frog. I didn't know Little Frog and High C were the same guys. I didn't know that Crawford and High C were the same guys. I wrote my shit being just like you guys. Even my lyrics sounded the same.
We thought High C was Mexican, by the way.
Everybody did.
Everybody did. So, it was just a thing. And then to see that whole thing evolved with the DJ Click trick thing and the consistency of the niggas tripping song on every album, and then Quick put one on his album, niggas still tripping. We used to follow all that shit.
Yeah, it was like no social media, but we were hooked.
But that's what I mean, that to us it was a thing where everything just started accumulating into a sense like, well, you know what, we can do this.
Here's where I see that it's epic, all right? Nowadays, we meet a lot of new rappers in Mexico that are really fucking good, that are nailing it. We meet a lot of regional Mexican artists that are fucking on the fucking top charts right now. And, just recently they come up and they say, we listened to your music growing up and we are influenced by your shit. And that's why I'm who I am today. It's crazy to hear that we feel this about you and what you did at that time. That's why I said, this motherfucker, dude, we're going to go interview him. Like, we're starstruck. We're never starstruck.
Yeah, like when Shotgun told me, I was like, you gotta be fucking
because
shitty.
You're my fucking childhood. You are where I was in that fucking mentality, like, dude, how are we gonna do this? This motherfucker figured out the way to make music. And when I would write, hey, boom, nigga, I'm gonna do my shit, bam, first line, boom, nigga. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for real.
Wow. We didn't develop our own.
I think I have that tape somewhere.
We didn't develop our own sound until a minute. But while we were fucking hustling the streets, one time we got to perform to the entire fucking Florencia gang. We were fucking doing our shit in the streets, and all we had was a fucking song or a verse. We didn't even.
Yeah, it was a verse, and it was like a few verses,
and we rock it like that, Wow. But that is the source of where our fucking, they say,
inspiration.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go fucking do it. Let's do it. They're doing it.
Right. Right. Well, let me say this. First of all, your guys' words humble me, bro. And so usually when somebody
they're the truth.
Pays me, I guess, homage or respect like that, I run out of words to say because when I did those beats, I was just in my room, never thinking they were gonna go further than the swap meet.
Right.
You know, and to have one of the biggest companies in the world, Disney, come look for us at the swap meet saying they want to sign us. Honestly, when they said they want to sign, I was like, to what? Like, and for what? You know?
You said I'm a citizen. What do you mean?
Yeah. You know. So I didn't know. And then keep in mind, when I got signed, I didn't know how to produce. All I just knew how to do was mixtapes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and say, well, yeah, I was already knocking out beats, because I wasn't.
Right.
So that's when, and I told the story plenty of times, when Steve bought me my drum machine and he took me to Dre's house so he could teach me how to use it.
Shit, you didn't know where you were.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and
that's crazy.
You know, it's either that or I read the fucking manual that's like this thick for the SP1200. So I have a photographic memory. So when Dre was over here, you know, you're pounding out the pads, he was like, you don't want to write this stuff down? I said, no, I'll remember. And I did. You know, just, okay. And here's how I learned. I said, turn it off. So we turned it off, and I go, so I'm going to turn it on.
Start from scratch?
Yeah. So I put the disc in. I push load here. Okay, here. Here's a segment. And he goes, yeah, you got it. So that pretty much, I would repeat that over and over, and then
it's crazy. You just relived that moment. I was watching your
house.
I just relived it. Here's the fucking ironic thing about this. The majority of the youngsters that are out there at their studios in their homes or whatever that they're doing, they have a doubt in their mind. You know, now look at this. It's fucking 2020. You never thought that you were gonna do what you did with those tracks in your room. You know what I'm saying? But you had this fucking belief system in it. We never thought we were gonna be sitting in front of you, giving you this fucking homage interview. And I know that you're here to interview us, but I'm telling you, I don't get this feeling about people often. You fucking represented and marked a timeline for us. You know, we were in a struggle with our parents, with school, with fucking gangs, and all the shit that you can think of. And this was our way out, right? For the people that are out there that are fucking listening to this and that are fucking considering and reconsidering, you know, if it comes from here, you know it. And you've been doing this since you were a kid. Yes. You know, it wasn't something that you went to school for. It wasn't something that you practiced, that you said, I'm just, you know, it was natural. There was no quitting.
Right.
I think that makes and marks the difference to how far and where you get with what you're doing. So my respects for you, man. You fucking did something for us.
Thank you, bro.
All right, thank you.
Well, I didn't know, but muchas gracias, bro. We'll take some shots after, okay? So, we gotta get some
okay. You don't know me.
So now, out of high school, you're got Gemini turntables, if I'm correct.
Oh my god!
By that time, I think one of the last school dances that we
had
already had the 1200s. We bought a set of.
My dad had a fucking turntable console. You know, those old school 80s chingaderas. And this motherfucker was scratching his records on it, right? So he had already was hip to that. When there came a point in time when for Christmas, you know, our tias would all give us a present, and I think my mom had a shitload of fucking sisters, like 13 or 14. There's a lot of them. But the ones that were around us, immediately we said, we don't want a Christmas present. We just humbly would appreciate it if you guys would contribute a donation so we can buy some fucking turntables. Yeah. We were dedicated, dude. And it's funny because we both had the same interests.
It was like, keep in mind, we were like still junior high, willing to give up all our Christmas just for a donation.
Just for a fucking donation for some equipment. So we got some Gemini belt-driven turntables, and you know that's fucking garbage.
Yeah, they were like $89 at the time each.
When we would see some DJs with some 1200s, and fucking just feel the plate.
Oh, there's a story about that too.
Fucking wow, you know, and we learned to scratch and mimic what youth professional DJs to us were doing on some fucking Gemini turntables, so our hand got pretty light. So when we would touch 1200s, this motherfucker could get down. This motherfucker could get down.
Yeah.
But that is where we had to start, was some fucking Gemini fucking turntables belt driven that would fucking drag and
we figured out that
push it, you weren't gonna land shit.
We figured out that the problem was when you push it in, that the platform would tilt and it throw the needle out. So what we did is took the platform off. Remember, we put pennies to heighten the thing.
Wow. We engineered those motherfuckers.
So the minimum amount of lift wouldn't be as much. They were almost scratching like a little bit, but it was enough for us to get our hands to make at least, you know,
to keep the needle from popping on the other side. So we had to engineer the shit out of what we had to try to mimic what you were doing.
Wow. You know, it's funny because, okay, I grew up with oldies, okay? My mom, my dad my dad would listen to more of the boleros, more of the mariachi style of music.
Right.
My mom, she loved cumbias. My dad loved a lot of American music, but mostly Spanish was played at home. But for me, I loved oldies. One of my brothers was from still claimed Compton, my oldest brother, and one of my cousins still claimed that neighborhood.
I had a girlfriend in Compton. Shut up.
So they always played oldies, and I've always loved Mary Wells. So I remember as a kid hearing that song, the one that really loves you. Okay, and every time I would play it, my brother would play it. My brother would always hear me humming to it, and he said, "What are you humming to it?" And I would always say, "A beat." You know, as a kid.
My younger brother's retarded. He's humming again.
Yeah. So when I got my first turntable, that was one of the first records that I got.
Oh, yeah?
And I remember Gigolo Tony Smurf Rock?
Yes.
Yep. Oh,
Okay.
man.
I'm Gigolo Tony, the one and only. I got new
I
brands,
heard the
you
shit
better
out of
jump
that
on
in
it.
school.
Yeah. So
Oh, that was where we got the maybe because we didn't have break beats back then, so we got
Fresh?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Fresh.
That's what I wore that shit out. We
Yeah.
wore that shit out.
So I turned it over. It goes fresh, and it goes la la
Yeah.
la la la, and then dum 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 dum,
Yeah.
and I would just ride that motherfucker. And then Steve later on would hear that shit, and he was like, "Let's put that on a mixtape."
Right.
And I was like, "For real?" So I started putting oldies on mixtapes first.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, right?
right.
That was a game changer. You
All
know,
right,
that
I have
was
a
game
question,
changer.
all right? We were trying to remember, but ¿quién hizo esa madre de Mr. Postman?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
I'll tell you who did that one, because I won't take credit for that one. Dr. Dre did that one in 1985. 85
That was
live.
from '85.
He did that in 85.
Well, we remember the tape number. It was the 102.
Because we didn't get him at the Roadium swap meet. Like we were getting him at
We
the
were
Paramount
reaching them as
swap
a
meet.
Paramount swap
then
meet.
somebody was
And they
probably
were
bootlegging.
Yeah, they were bootlegging
bootlegging and they were labeling them. So we were, like I said, we were fans of your mixes.
Uh-huh.
And we would always just know the tapes by their number.
By their number, it was the 101 or the 102 or
Yeah.
some shit like
Yeah,
that.
and we didn't know what was what. You know, that was our research, dude. There was no fucking iTunes, no fucking video blogging, nothing. We had to go to the fucking Paramount Swap Meet and talk to the dude there and say, what do you got today?
What's
Right.
the new one?
Where's the new one?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, so no, there's a correction. That one was called 86 in the Mix, and then because I started doing the mixtapes in 87, from 87 to 91.
Okay.
So and it was funny because even though I had heard Dre's mixtapes, I didn't really want to listen to too much of him because I didn't want to be influenced by his mixes. I wanted to do my own.
Do you realize what the fuck you're saying right now? He said he didn't want to be influenced with Dr. Dre. Every motherfucker wanted to sit next to Dre, and you were there, but you were like, nah, I gotta do my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's class.
That's what I mean.
That's class. That is.
A lot of the new artists lack that type of ambition. A lot of the new artists want to be what they already heard. Like, oh, I want
Right.
to do a song like that or something. Like I was telling Misfit earlier, you know, they're like he takes chances into trying some shit that nobody has tried. You know what I mean? Like what they were criticizing. You guys were talking about something about Chicano rap, and it's like, well, that has a lane. You know, if you want to follow that lane, that's fine. But don't criticize dude because he's Mexican and he's trying some new shit.
Yeah, I
You know
have
what
a
mean?
story about that.
So, you know, I mean, they always try to throw us in that, you know, you're Mexican, you must be Chicano rap.
Let me know when you're ready to hear that story. I got
Oh,
the
about
story.
the big
Yeah,
boy shit
yeah.
anyways.
yeah,
But, you know, that's what I mean. Like, there's dude, like I said, Misfit Soto to me, I was telling him I watched his shit up from Latin Beast TV, I believe.
Yes,
I
yeah.
believe that's a channel that, you know, showcases a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, you know, they show stuff that, all right, here we go. You know, these guys are actually trying some new shit, something creative to get you out of that shit. Because you talk to a lot of artists and they're upset. They're like, oh, no, they don't want to let us in the game. And, you know, here we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because we went through the same fucking struggles, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, we worked our 9 to 5, and at night we would work on stuff. And instead of going to the nightclub on the weekends, we'd just fucking sit in his fucking 1-bedroom apartment and just be creative, like entertaining ourselves.
Right.
But we were influenced, you know, by the Anglo market. We were influenced by the black rapper. We were influenced by the culture for what it was back then and what feed we were receiving.
Yes.
So we started creating, since radio no nos pelaba, we said, all right, well, let's hit up the DJs that are spinning at the radio station. So DJ Cuervo was one that was at Power 106. I forgot the other ones, right? So we started making drops for the DJ.
Yeah.
And that was our fucking foot into Power 106.
That was the only chance avenue that we would have to at least try to get something or the radio to recognize us.
Yeah, mind you, all the other artists had already happened, you know, so we were really under the fucking radar.
Oh.
But one time we got a hold of motherfucking Big Boy, right? And that was like, fuck yeah, we're in, we made it, right? We worked all fucking night because they asked us to produce a fucking drop for their morning show.
Yeah.
So me and this guy were like, fuck, like they just threw a steak at us. You know, we got to eat this shit up, right?
Right.
We worked all fucking night. Nos desvelamos totalmente. And the next day we had to be at power at like 4:30 a.m. because their morning show started at 5 a.m., right? It was Liz, Fussy, Fantabulous, and fucking Big Boy.
Yes.
Right? We hit them up. And we were fucking happy with their fucking CD. They come to the fucking door of the studio when we knocked. They opened the door and they looked at us and they said, "Oh, sorry guys, like y'all need to be talking to Kool-Aid then, because we were Mexican."
Yeah, like automatically, like you guys belong on Pocos Pero Locos.
And Fuzzy came out and he literally shut the door on us.
Yeah.
Gave us our fucking CD back and shut the door. Like they liked our music because they said, you know, put it together, bring it by in the morning. We're gonna premiere in the morning through the show. And fuck yeah, me and this motherfucker, you know, we weren't signed, we weren't looking for nothing. We were just like, wow, we fucking made it.
Yeah.
Just getting live on, and that's how you fucking just went like this.
It's like it didn't even take a second to say or to hear what. It was just like he looked at us and like, oh, y'all need to see Kool-Aid. Because, like I said, they had that show, Pocos Pero Locos.
Y'all need to be talking to Kool-Aid. Like, you can't be here. No, and it was like,
we were like, all right.
Motherfucker.
We had to call in late for work that day, motherfucker.
I'm late. I haven't slept. You know, and it was like a fucking reality check.
Wow.
To how the fucking business was. You know, it wasn't something that it's who you. It wasn't what it is. You know, it was so the most disrespectful fucking. I couldn't believe it. So you know, we went back. And we just kept doing what the fuck we were doing.
We're going to press pause right there like a mixtape.
Yes.
Okay? And we're going to come right back and we're going to pick up on that because I got some stuff I want to say about that.
Hell
about
yeah.
being a Chicano in this industry, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, so far, this is have been the most humbling, simplest, regular interview that we have no shenanigans for. It's like really
It
us
feels
100%.
comfortable.
It's really cool.
Feels comfortable.
Dope. So stay tuned. Text a friend, call a friend, page a friend. Let them know that Akwid is in the building. Once again, Tony A. the Wizard, hosting Roadium Radio. Let somebody know. We'll be back. Johnny, take us away.
Fucking right.
Yo, right about now, Dr. Dre is in effect. Cold tearing shit up with my man Steve at the Roadium swap meet. And we here to lay it on the line. To all them sucker niggas out there claiming our tapes and shit, we just got one thing to say.
Never catch you boy, your ass is mine. Never catch you boy, your ass is mine. Never catch you boy, your ass is mine. Yeah! Now my name is Dr. Dre. Dr. Baby. Now my name is Dr. Dre. Now my name is Dr. Dre. Now my name is Dr. Dre. Went to a party in West LA. Wanna learn a new dance, that's what you say. Well, here's a new dance that can't be matched. So just step to the floor and do the cat. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come.
Yo, this is how I see it. Tony A. Chilling at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch. The shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy cause free. And the streets to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a gram.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. Sitting here with my boy Tony A. the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What up, what up? It's Mr. Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace at Padrino, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
What's up? This is Esther of Spanish Fly, Harbor Area's finest. Tune in to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune in to Roadium Radio on Tony Vision's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking Elkins, and you're tuned in to Roadium Radio with my homeboy DJ Tony A the Wizard.
What up, this is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips, here with your boy, Tony A the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
What up, West Coast and all hip-hop fans? This is your girl, Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium MIXTAPE DOCUMIXERY. You get it by going to DOCUMIXERY.com. You better get this, and I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve YANO. I'm out.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. That's how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. This Big Daddy Swoles. I'm chilling with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Like it ain't shit, cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick. It's a full-time jack move. Chili kill yo, homie, make the track move. Freestyle, me and mama keep the big changes. Sweat dripping, girlies in the middle when you chill. Walked in the house, got shot. 1, 2, 3. Motherfucker, don't down this shit. This is it, y'all. Daddy. I'm kick your ass.
Cut. We're good?
Check it out, right about now, Dr. Dre's on the wheels, and I'm about to cold tear shit up. AOT, you got a level? Steve, hit record, man.
Get busy with Easy and Tony A on the 12 technique, see?
Here's a little something by a nigga like me. They never should have 35
folks, it's your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and I'm kicking it live with my man Tony A. Check out his latest documentary on DOCUMIXERY.com. It's the bomb. It's all about my man Steve YANO and his contribution that he created from the Roadium swap that's still alive right here on Redondo Beach Boulevard. Check it out, y'all. DOCUMIXERY.com. My man Tony A. Much love, y'all. Much love, Steve. Peace.
What you do?
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio. We're back after our break. I hope you guys call somebody, text somebody, and let them know that we have Akwid in the building. Before I get back to the questions, there's something that I want to say that you guys pointed out, that when you guys knocked on the door, Pyro 106, if you will, they came out and said, we want to, you guys need to talk to Kool-Aid, Pocos Pero Locos.
Yeah.
Right away, they put you guys in the category. You guys belong over there. You guys don't belong in Main
Correct.
Street.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's my thing about that. I'm going to start off on left field, and then I'm going to bring it home. Today, we have an administration that people would say they don't want Mexicans here in United States.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to wait for him to bring it home, because he was going to start left field. He was going to bring it home, so let's wait.
Okay. I'm not an America basher. I'm not going to bash America, but we do have an administration that says that pretty much that our people do not belong here. I get it. I understand. I don't agree with you, but I hear you. Okay, now let's just take LA, just LA alone. If you were to take every Mexican out of LA will collapse overnight.
Probably. Okay, especially the food industry.
It would collapse overnight. Who works harder than Mexicans?
Shit, a Mexican without a job? Yeah, there's really nobody.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Here in LA, we are the hip-hop economy.
We are the fucking workforce and backbone of what we do. You know, the hood moves and everything. LA, if you want to talk about LA, predominantly it moves because of what we do.
Okay,
culturally.
Now, you take every Mexican out of LA, your favorite rapper will have to go work at a warehouse.
Ta cabrón.
Think about it. Who's going to go to their concerts? Who's going to go to their shows? Who's going to buy their apparel? Who's going to buy their tickets?
True.
You know, so for us to be the majority and the main supporter of hip hop and still be on the outskirts of hip hop is still unfair.
We know the politics behind all that.
Your point of view is right to a certain extent, because I think mostly it's music. Yes. Because, you know, even though a lot of these rappers feel, you know, like thrown under just because of their race or whatever, but you really take a listen to their music and you're like, well, you know, if you listen to what's out there and you listen to good music, you know, you really have some work to do.
Right.
And a lot of people that start making music don't really understand that. They feel just because, you know, they got this beat and their message on their lyrics is dope or whatever, but, you know, it's not that the industry doesn't want you. It's just that, you know, give them, it's a business. Give them something they can sell.
Go ahead.
I would say that a lot of people forget that the hardest thing to do, other than the music, politics, or the investments and the business aspect of it, hardest thing to do is come up with some fucking good music.
Right.
That's the fucking backbone of the whole thing. De ahí ya se convierte en una política. Who do you know? Who's gonna hook you up? Who's gonna fund you? You know, it turns into a whole other business. You know, who's gonna, what's the marketing? So it just turns into a different animal.
Right.
But in reality, you know, you want to really break down the American dream, or what the fuck living in an American culture means to me. It's a multitude of cultures coming together. And you know what? If you can be the best fucking engineer for me in my fucking country, in my state, then show me. Show me what you can do. You know, put your fucking money where your mouth is. You know, you're good at what you do with music, then fucking, you know, you're telling me you wrote with the best, dude. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can take that from you. Nobody said that you were privileged, because we were all underprivileged. But what you have in here and what you have in here sets you aside from that. You know, a lot of people say Akwid was a fucking overnight success. Right? They don't know how many fucking times we did everything for free. I mean, we went through a whole fucking 14-year period where we were just happy to perform. Right. Oh, they're going to let us play? Fuck yeah. And then, you know, it's hard to juggle both. Hey, guess what? You can get paid doing this. Okay, talk to me. You know, that's building a fucking career on a strong foundation that where you're not being phony. You know your skill set. You know what you do. You're born with a certain genius. You might not be a mathematical genius, but what you do, you give your fucking equipment to a fucking mathematical genius in rocket science. He won't know what the fuck to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's yours to have, yours to do with whatever you want. So all these other politics, I hate politics, especially when it comes to music.
I understand.
But those things I will never put aside. You know, Kool-Aid and E-Dove opened a huge door for us. Kool-Aid and E-Dove put us on the fucking airwaves. Kool-Aid and E-Dove didn't see us as Chicano rappers, or, you know, they didn't say you gotta sound like this.
Yeah.
Power 106, Big Boy, Fuzzy, and Liz told us that we were knocking on the wrong door because we were fucking bald and Mexican. Okay. Bottom line.
Now, when you guys heard that,
I wanted to cry, but Fuzzy was big and I couldn't hit him, and they were closing the door, and I was fucking tired and I was frustrated. I mean, you can imagine.
I mean, the frustration was there, obviously, but you know, to us, it didn't deter us because we love doing that shit for a hobby. You know, we could care less whether we had a deal or not at the time. To us, every Friday, every weekend was let's fuck around with some music. It wasn't about the club. It wasn't about the bitches and the money. It was about what can we record today.
Right.
At the time, I was producing music for our group, Juvenile Style, and for Shotgun and his cousin, which was Mad Ruckus.
Sabu, his cousin.
I was producing. They were more of a hip hop vibe. We were more of a West Coast vibe music.
Yes.
So I was doing both, and you know, to me, like they would come over to my house on weekends. And I'd have probably like 6-8 beats for them to listen to, and then you know they're all pick. Oh, well, we want that one, and they want that one. You know, we'll take it from there. And we used to knock out like 4 songs in one night, in a 4-track. You know, but it was fun
Those
for
were some
us.
good ass times.
Now, let me tell you guys something. Why I shared that, because this is part of it. Okay, this is 1991. We're doing our photo shoot downtown LA for the High C album cover. Okay,
The SKANLESS?
Yes, the SKANLESS album cover.
Classic.
Okay, now I've asked people if they can think of another album, rap album cover where you had a black and a Mexican in it. Okay, and I always ask my guests, you know, if they could think of one, let me know. When we shot that album cover, I won't say who told me this, but they kept trying to talk me out of being me.
Oh shit!
Out of being out the album cover. So I finally asked this individual why, you know, and he says, "Who's gonna want to see a Mexican?"
Oh shit!
And I produced the album.
Yeah.
Okay? Now,
okay. As a Mexican,
Wait, how the fuck did you just take that?
I'll be honest with you. I felt insulted. You know, here's the way I feel. Like I was still not accepted, even though I was signed, and even though I produced it. Like, what else do I have to do? You know,
man. Dude, you're fucking writing with the best. You're producing for the best at the moment. And for you to, I mean, you're given the recognition as credit, but not in the sense of image. That's a fucking straight insult to you.
Right.
I mean, to your ego, to your appearance, to what you stand for, where you come from. How do you say, okay, you're right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can. You can.
Right. And you know what? And I've never shared these stories with other people that have interviewed me. I never opened up. But since we're on the subject where somebody's pretty much said, go see them.
Right.
You know, kind of putting you in a category. You don't belong with us, you belong with them.
Exactly.
Even during my video shoots, the same person kept trying to talk me out of being in the video shoot. Now, keep in mind, I'm looking forward to being in videos. I want to be seen.
Yeah. You just got shut down.
Yeah.
Like I told
you can't even make the cover.
Like I told you, you know, when you hear it's like Ranyo Jokuli is like Tony A and High C. You know, your name even came first. You know, High C. It was a duo. It wasn't a thing where if you're gonna do an album on Tony A and High C, you want to see both.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And especially for us, we thought, you know, High C was Mexican, so you expect the album cover to be two Mexicans.
Yeah, that was, you know, and what they were rapping to was fucking influenced by Latino culture. Right. You know, it wasn't fucking what your normal hip hop was. So that was already a transitional state for music. I think the cool part about this is that we hold no ill will to any of these people.
Right.
You know, our first contract we ever signed as music, as Juvenile Style, was with this guy, John Barunda. He was in the outskirts of Beverly Hills. You know, we knew his family well. We knew him well. He owned all our shit.
That was Shark's manager too.
We didn't care. You know what I'm saying? There came a point, Sam Hernandez, You know, he now I believe is still with Mixed Matters. Cliff Ritchie. You know, everybody played a role in what we did. I mean, Cliff Ritchie. A lot of people have a lot of stories to say about him, right? That's cool.
Everybody smiles when the name comes up.
You know, and considering every single thing that happened. It's something that we normally call like, you know what? All right, we paid to see. We learned. We were green. We didn't know nothing. Estábamos pendejos. We were having fun what we were doing. And each one of these individuals opened a different door for us. So we hold no ill will. You know, it's cool. We had to learn. You know, I can see them today and fucking shake their hand. I can see them today and be like, fucking shit, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I have nothing else to say.
Right.
You don't owe me shit. I ain't mad because you fucking took credit for it. It doesn't matter, man. The moment where we're at, you know, where we came from is what matters. So, yeah, at the time when fucking they closed the door on us at Power, it was like, fuck, we were there. we were
so
there,
close.
but you know, we fucked up because we were Mexican. You know what I'm saying? I had to take that shit home with me.
Right, of course.
You know? Pero it didn't make a difference. We said, okay, you know what? All right, fuck it. We just can't count on them. Let's keep doing our do.
Let's keep it pushing.
Let's keep it pushing. And it didn't make a difference. I think if we would have got stuck on that, we'd probably be writing diss tracks. Fuck Big Boy.
We'd be the mad rapper.
We'd be a mad rapper.
The mad rapper. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
For all the tech guys that like going to the NAMM show, guys that like collecting equipment, guys that love the love going to Guitar Center, San Maj, West LA Music.
So you had too much money if you were going to those stores at that time.
Yeah,
I was still stealing shit.
What 4-track were you using? What type of 4-track?
The Yamaha.
Yamaha.
It was like about $500 at the time. It was a 4-track Yamaha. That's when I first realized that I could make, and I had the 8-second sampler.
Right.
So I started doing multiple loops into the 4-track.
You got real creative.
Yeah. So then I
with
started.
less.
Yeah, with less. So I started doing the 4-track. I mean my beats on the 8-track, and then bust it to 2-track. People don't know the
fucking kids don't know what the fuck a track is. I mean, when
the fucking struggles of busting and busting and busting, and by the time you get to the end, you know your track sounds like shit, but you already got your picture.
An idea.
Yeah. So then you have 3 tracks for vocals, and we used to do chorus and 2 verses, and you know it's a struggle. And kids nowadays, you know, they got unlimited tracks, and all it's just like fuck. You know?
Now you guys come up with the name Juvenile Style. Was that the first name you guys came up with?
Yeah, that was our first.
What inspired that?
We were juveniles at the time. Excuse me. We had long hair, ponytails all the way down here. We were really deep into South Central LA, so we used to braid our hair. You know,
culturally, we were really culturally.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to be Mexican or more supportive towards my culture, because up until like my senior year, I thought I was black. I went to an all-black school. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball. I came home and complained to my mom, "Why did you marry my daddy so fucking short? I can't fucking dunk." I was mad. You know, I was about sports. So, you know, my vocabulary, I mean, straight up, nigga this, nigga that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like that. And then I ended up fucking landing in jail, you know, at that time.
And it changed everything.
I got a reality check. I was like, you know what? This is what it is. And I said, orale, fucking my bad.
Yeah.
I did not know, you know, so the dynamics changed.
I'm glad you're sharing that. I truly...
It's the fucking truth.
Truly am, bro, because you know what? When I posted up your picture on the YouTube, people are like, yeah, they used to be nigga this, nigga that. You know.
Oh, dude, it's true. Our first music, our first albums... I mean, they made us take some of them out.
When we landed our first deal with Pump Quality Records, you know, trying to follow behind the tail of Lighter Shade of Brown, that's where Simon Anders comes in.
Because the influence was High C, DJ Quick, Second and None. It was them is nigga, boom nigga. His first lyrics he wrote, like he said, is boom nigga.
You know, that was right.
That was what it was.
So when we land there, you know, Tom Yamamoto, I believe it was right after Russ Regan. Tom Yamamoto comes in, takes over the company as president, and I believe he was Japanese. He was the coolest fucking dude, and he treated us like fucking people.
Yes.
That's
how Steve Yano was with me.
Right? And he says, you know, I like the album, but why do you have to say nigga all the time? And he would tell us, you know, I grew up with a lot of black friends, and I grew up in South Central, but you know, you guys don't have to do that all the time. And we felt like, dude, this is how we talk.
Right.
Yeah. You know, at the moment, I mean, I knew the fucking streets. I mean, I walked the streets of South Central. You know, I knew where, you know, we done it. You know, so you're asking me to do something like that. What the fuck do I substitute it with?
Right.
Yeah.
There's, you know, my vocabulary is this little, dude. I fucking English is my second
not
language.
only that, at that time, even you know, just growing up, the word nigga in South Central was just like saying dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Dude, to Mexican kids to this day, you know,
Right.
that still use it, you know, get criticized a lot, but a lot of people don't understand that being in that culture, it is what it is.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's like we grew up telling somebody, you're gay.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
that was
It's just
gay.
But I'll tell you
Yeah.
the flip side to that. Another reality check for me. You know, I was driving a fucking Datsun 510 that my mom used to fucking let me
a
drive.
little
Oh, yeah, man. I used, to,
Four-door.
I used to be driving in the second grade because not second, seventh. Sorry.
hell?
Porque I had to drop her off at work and had the privilege of keeping the car and go to school with it. So shit, I had a fucking car in seventh grade, right? But whatever. One time I went to pump gas. This was right on Adams and Western, right? There was I think it was a Chevron gas station. And I got off to pump gas, and you know, you always got the roamies, is what we used to call them back then. The guys that would say, "Yo, let me pump your gas for you."
Right,
You know,
right.
so I was still fucking black in the mind, right? And he says, I looked at him and I said, "No, nigga, I got this." Oh my God! This was an older man, you know, in his fucking probably mid 60s, early 70s, and he looked at me.
Right.
At that moment, I know I fucked up. Because not everybody got it.
Right.
The minute I found myself trying to explain my culture, I couldn't tell him, you know, I migrated from fucking Michoacan. We came to fucking Pico Union area. I ended up in South Central. My mom and dad divorced. I didn't have time to tell him all my story. All I did was fucking blabbered out some shit that insulted him and his beliefs.
Right.
And he didn't even want to pump my gas no more. He just looked at me like I was the worst person in the whole world. That's when I said, all right, I'm doing something wrong. ¿Qué chingados pasa aquí?
Right.
That, landing in fucking jail and getting checked.
Right.
They told me, okay, I had to go home and have a conference with this guy. Guess what? It ain't what we thought it was. We gotta cut that shit out. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But anyways, that took us to be more in tune with our own roots. That
Good.
took us to be more culturally where we needed
Lesson
to be.
learned.
You know what's interesting about that? I don't mean to bring it up, you know, right now, but it's interesting how that it's only culturally not accepted by Mexicans. For example, Cyprus. I know Cyprus has used it in some of their earlier stuff. You know, you hear some of the stuff and it's like, all right, well, why is that? Why is Fat Joe saying it okay? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's Puerto Rico or Dominican. I'm not sure, but it's like, how is that accepted only for a certain type of Latino?
Right.
Where it's still
that debate will go on for years.
but that's what I mean.
I
though.
was just
It's-
talking
it's a
about my
mentality.
errors. I'm, you know, maybe this is my moment of clearing it up with that man. I apologize for the fucking insult and everybody else, but that's just where I grew up and how I grew up.
Te perdono.
Gracias. The good thing is we figured the shit out, right?
We need a priest.
All good, brother. So, juvenile style. Yes, come on. Juvenile style. You guys signed, right?
No.
Yeah.
With John Brunda. If you want to call it a fucking signature, then yes.
Okay. Was there any type of advance?
No.
No. He bought us some. He took us to we bought some clothes at the swap meet and a drum machine.
He bought him MPC 60.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. I'm always grateful for what happened because
to me, the 8 volt.
He was our producer at that young age. He had equipment.
Now, when you say young age, about how old were you guys at that time?
Fuck, we were on 41st and Wall.
Probably
in South Central.
1920.
Probably.
Okay.
There.
Y él, you know, he showed us. I mean, we watched him work with his equipment. We watched him program the fucking MPC.
Yeah.
You know, and we were like, fuck, this is all it takes. Like, this is all we need. We don't need turntables no more. This is what we need, right?
Right.
And that's where John Brunda comes in after that first Juvenile Style album. He says, oh, shit, well, he got him a fucking machine. And to us, that was our paycheck.
Okay.
We weren't looking for money. We weren't looking to fucking nothing. We were just like, fuck, dude, don't say anything. We just got some machine for this. Don't say nothing so he doesn't take it away.
Don't make no waves.
Right? Because at the end of the day, he was a white boy.
The interesting way of how we got that deal was, so we used to DJ, so we used to buy 12-inch records every Friday with the fucking $10 my mom gave us for the weekend.
What would you guys go buy records at?
Bernal's records on fucking Vermont.
Vermont.
Vermont,
and,
like south of
Adams,
South of
Vermont, Adams, somewhere over there.
She was a Mexican lady that had a small record store, mom and pop store. She had regional Mexican music in there, but she had a hip hop section.
Yeah.
And she knew that we always looked for that crazy shit, so she would deliberately bring records of different shit every weekend so we can go buy one.
So that's where we bought the proper those 12-inch Mexican Power.
Mexican Power. Yeah.
So I have the original 12-inch that they released on that. And one day we were at my house and he had the mic and we were playing around with the beats and scratching and rapping. And that's when we said, you know what? Hearing the proper dose to us, we're like, okay, well, if they can get a record deal, you know, maybe the people that got them a record deal will take a listen to us.
Right.
And he decided to just call the number on the damn record. You know,
I said, well, there's a number there. Why don't we fucking call it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
No cell phones. This is a home phone, right? Fucking call. I mean, it's funny how this shit works out. You know, we pick up the fucking phone. We call. John Bruin answers the phone. Explicit Entertainment. Hey, well, I don't even know what the fuck I said. I was a fucking kid.
Right.
Hey, you know, we rap. You know, this fucker, out of that conversation, he goes, yeah, okay, well, why don't you guys put yourself a demo together? We're like, what the fuck's a demo?
What the fuck do you mean?
What's it, what
I got rap, motherfucker. That's all you need to know.
Well, put a few songs together for me and call me when you got it done. And I was like, shit, all right, we don't have not even one fucking song. So me and this guy say, okay, we got to create music now.
Right.
So now we got to come into a music format. We didn't even know
He actually
a format
taught us-
existed.
taught
He
us
taught
the
us
format.
that, no, guys, you know, you can't do a fucking
You mean like
30
16 bars?
Yeah,
we didn't know.
the 16
It was like,
bars, the
you gotta-
bridge.
this shit gets counted in bars. You can't just fucking rap all day. You need a hook. What's a hook, fucking John? Oh, well, you know, a hook that does this and that. He took us to the kitchen sink in Hollywood to watch Browntown record.
Yeah, when Shotgun was recording Dope House in the Ghetto.
We hadn't touched a mic, a professional mic or studio, and we were fucking blown away. The kitchen sink wasn't even completed. It was still like in the woodworking process, but it was still, it was functional already.
Right.
He took us there. I remember I was starstruck when I met Browntown. I was like, puta madre, you know, these guys are the real deal. They're in a real studio.
We thought they were dope too.
Yeah,
like lyrically,
that
like
fucking loop that Clear did.
The Mustang
for
Sally.
Dope House in the Ghetto.
Yeah.
That blew my fucking mind. Right? And I was like, wow, all right, we're somewhere, behave, don't do that shit you do at home. You know, we're professional people right now. But that was the experience, dude. It was a humbling experience. And to see how that shit just fucking comes together in fucking full circle today. Unexpected. So, you know, fucking, again, you're here. Melo's here. This is a fucking day. I told you earlier when we got here, this is going to be epic because just to meet you, I was starstruck to receive your phone call. I told you over the phone. When this guy told me, you know, did you see that C-Trick interview? And I said, yeah. He says, he did say that if he reaches out to you and he doesn't reach out again, he's not going to fucking call no more. I said, I know. I said, did he call you? He says, no, he hasn't. He said, you checked all our social media? Yeah, he hasn't reached out. I said, how do you know it's him? He said, I'll know. And fucking 2 days later, we received a fucking call from you. And it was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Wow.
Yeah, when Shaka told me, like I said, when Shaka told me, I was like, fuck yeah, I mean, whatever.
Bro, let me tell you something. First of all, I know on our next break, we're going to get into, after our next break, we're going to get into the epic album. And I told you how I felt about that album, bro. Okay. And I told you how I felt about that album because when I fucking first heard that song, la verdad, like I fucking got goosebumps, bro, because I heard a new fucking sound. I've always been attracted to different. You know, to me, different is epic. For an example, when I first heard Melo's first song, everybody knew that was epic, that was different. You know, there was nothing out there like it.
Of course.
When I hear Misfits shit's different. I like different.
That's what I told
you know,
them.
when I heard your guys' shit, that was the first thing because it felt like a new sound. You know how they say it felt like a fresh breath.
Fresh of fresh air.
Yes, exactly.
A breath
I'm like,
of fresh air.
it's nothing like there's anything out there like it. So what I did, I bought that CD, I went home, and in the very beginning, whoever was talking said, vamos a hacer historia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is something different.
That was this one.
Man, I picked up on all of that. And then, and as soon as, boom, I wait.
Like, you know what's crazy?
You put on your sombrero.
Inserts did not exist into a Mexican album, especially in rap. Those were the first inserts we ever introduced because we were influenced by what we heard from what you guys would do. You guys would drop a fucking song and then there'd be another track and it was just nothing but fucking shit talking or whatever. And I was like, fuck, that's so fucking natural. It's so cool. So all this stuff that you're talking about, we didn't write, we didn't rehearse. The executives that were behind the investments for what we were doing, they didn't know what the fuck was up. We literally were thrown into a fucking studio and say, do what you do. You know, the music, we're not musicians, bro. This guy can't write or read music. It was all done by ear. So they brought his production and hired musicians and un maestro that can translate what he did and write it into notes for the people. And they would argue with us and say, because the majority of them were Argentinian, che, lo que él está escribiendo no va con la música. And the other guy kicked in and said, che, tenés a los putos Beatles enfrente de ti, déjalos que hagan lo que hagan. These are motherfuckers that can fucking see.
Yes.
It was a thing where on a keyboard you can break the scale on whatever instrument.
Right.
But when we were replacing what I did with live instruments, some instruments cannot get to a certain scale, so they were like, "Oh, we can't do what you're playing on the keyboard with live instruments." The guy like, "No, you're gonna make it happen."
You're gonna make it happen. Okay.
He had the
we gotta talk about Guillermo Santizo when we come back.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna get into that shit.
Now, we got a couple of minutes before we go to break, and I want to touch on how many albums did Juvenile Style have?
Two.
Brood
in South Central and Time to Expand.
Brood in South Central.
Time to Expand was the first one, and then it was Brood in South Central.
Okay, somebody kept asking me, I don't know who in the hell it is. Was there a song called Jacking for Nalgas?
Yes. and then some people interviewed us, and he wrote down Jacking for Niggas. Oh my God, that created some bullshit for us. We were from South Central. That was the biggest fucking error in the whole world. And they would interview and say, what is this song about jacking for niggas? I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? No, it's jacking for nalgas. Oh, we didn't know. We thought, dude, but yeah, that created some bullshit for us.
And John, with his chopped up Spanish, used to call it jacking for naglas.
Naglas, yeah.
All right, bro. That's what it is.
So the first one, Brood in South Central. Now, how well did that one do?
Dude, it did nothing.
It was hot garbage.
Really?
I think for the underground, like, dude, we were in South Central LA, and then we were probably known a little bit in LA, but we weren't doing nothing spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, at the time, we thought that shit was dope. We recorded it in Hawthorne right here at the Black Hole.
Okay.
Yeah, with Kenny McLeod.
That's
the Black Hole.
Now, other than yourself, did you have other producers?
No.
Okay, so you
no,
did...
just DJ. Brood in South Central I did by myself.
DJ Aladdin produced a song for us.
On the first one.
Okay.
DJ Aladdin did Jacking for Nalgas.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
It was a sample from James Brown Popcorn.
Okay.
And DJ Battery Brain produced a lot of our first shit. For John Barunda. And Kenny McLeod from the Commodores. Oh, we have a story on that shit. That shit will blow your fucking mind.
No, that's not Kenny McLeod. That's Cochran, the guy.
David Cochran.
From
the Commodores.
Not to be confused with Johnny Cochran, right?
No.
Okay, now, how long was that one out before you guys released the second one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a timeline on that.
Okay, if Time to Expand came out in 91, 92, Brood in South Central came out like in 94. I'm gonna say 95.
We were
96.
mad rappers in Brood in South Central.
Okay.
We were I mean, there's some shit there that, we made a fucking diss track for Lighter Shade of Brown.
Oh.
For no fucking reason at all, just because we were mad because they were good and we were bad. Because they were on the radio and we were not, and we were more gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ODM, he's good. We cool with ODM.
No, but we're somewhere else today. But I have to fucking make that right because I've always had a problem with that. Personally, I tell my brother, you know what? Why the fuck did we do that? Like, we owed nothing. They owed. We didn't even know them, dude.
It was just we were kids.
It was the stupidest thing. I mean, one of them was riding around in a Range Rover, and I was driving around in a fucking 510 Datsun, 1981 Datsun 510 with center lines, and I just had this pinche odio that out of nowhere, dude.
Yeah.
You know, that animosity that we talk about between the culture and the music, I had that.
Right. Okay.
And I shook it though. You know, when I say, esto no está bien, but yeah, we went through that, dude. So when people send me fucking messages de Akwid, chinga su madre, sold out, blah, blah, blah. Váyanse a la verga, todos juntos me vale verga. You know what I'm saying? It's true.
Exactly, brother. Okay. And I'm glad you said that.
I hate it when you're glad about something.
So now the second album comes out. Does that do anything?
No, it's hot garbage.
Nothing does nothing. You don't get it. Nothing does nothing.
Actually,
I have to ask.
Delinquent Habits were fucking cracking. Mellow, fucking Frost, fucking you name it. And we were just right there. And then these guys that were getting on the radio, was it Cyclone? Somebody was doing fucking drops for
the Mexicans were influenced too.
The Mexicans, they were very well connected with fucking what's that guy that was on 92.3 the Chinese
Oh,
guy.
Julio,
Theo,
Okay.
Julio, all these people, and it was like, fuck, those are the Mexicans. I'm good. Al rato hablamos de esa madre. And it was just like, fuck, why can't we fucking break in? Like, what's going on here? You know, like, why can't try harder?
Honestly, lyrically, those motherfuckers are dope. Like, I don't think we never said we're dope lyricists, like, we're the shit. You know what I mean? We never based our skill on the lyrical thing. To us, it was just telling a fucking story to some music that we like.
Sinful's a good friend. Yes. Sinful's a really good friend till today.
So, you know, to us, you know, like hearing shit like that, and, you know, it's like, dude, these guys are dope. You know what I mean? Like, these guys can actually fucking rap.
Yeah,
you know?
of course, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, and it's true. You know, you gotta make sure that, you know, you understand where you're at musically.
Yes,
like,
yes.
We can't, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't know your place, like, if you really think you're dope, but you're whack, you know, it sucks.
That's bad. That's like a Hyundai. You know?
Yeah.
Like Hyundai says, it's just like the Mercedes. You can kiss my
like
ass.
right now, you know, when I see Melo, you know, the first thing that came to mind, like our favorite song from his album was "Hoy si que vengo, sabroso y caliente, rumbando." It was in Spanish, and I was like, "Fuck, that shit is mind blowing."
Right.
That was the first time that we had heard Spanish in rap.
Of course.
Mentirosa, but
of course.
But you know, it was like, to us, that was like fully Spanish, and it was like, fuck. It was like, and he's killing it. You know, it's not a whack flow.
And the crazy shit about that is that we used to bump this shit because I had sounds in my 510. I didn't give a fuck. It wasn't the regular fucking urban rap music that you're used to hearing. You know what I'm saying? This was a complete different flavor, but even though culturally we're not the same, I took pride in that. I was like, this motherfucker's ripping some shit on top of everything else.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I've told Melo plenty of times that he opened the door for many of us Latinos to come in.
Influential, man. Influence.
What's funny, sorry for interrupting, is that even the artists that have made it and that have never made it, all right, we are a perfect example of no matter what the fuck you grew up listening to, whatever influenced you culturally at the core of who you are, even if you hated them, made a fucking difference to who you are today. And I will say that today about fucking Frost, Lighter Shade of Brown, Mellow, every single fucking Latino that I listened to, whether they were from fucking Mexico or whatever, it was just the language. It was what fed me and said, oh shit, si se puede en español,
Right.
you know, okay?
Si
fuck.
se puede.
Our language is fucked up, dude. My Spanish está pa la chingada and my English is even worse. But what I realized that in Spanish, the vocabulary just opened up.
Yeah, it opened up a whole new thing for us. The very first Spanish rap we did was No Hay Manera. So to us, it was like,
I could rap to you in English and I'll run out of words. You know what I'm saying? My vocabulary is this little.
Okay.
But in Spanish, from all the fucking shit that I hear all my tias and my mom and everybody fucking talking, and this is like culturally, Latin America is fucking ridiculous. So everybody has a way of expression.
It's liberating in a way where how much better you can express yourself.
That I think was a big fundamental to our success, is that we did not say the same fucking word that the last rapper said.
And
I thought he was gonna throw some shit.
No.
Don't
kick us out yet.
No. We're gonna press pause again right there,
Let's
okay?
do that.
Press
Let's do
pause.
that.
We're gonna take a 10-minute
I
break.
like pause. Everybody
and we're
likes
gonna come right back.
Hey, don't get it twisted. This
We don't go smoke some weed, motherfuckers. You know what it is.
This motherfucker's tall. Don't get it twisted. He'll fuck you up.
We'll come right back. We're gonna take a couple of drinks. We'll be back with Akwid. Don't go nowhere. Call someone.
Shit.
Tell someone. Page someone. Slap someone. We'll be back. Take us away, Johnny
Slap
boy.
someone.
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name was?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Here are the Ultimate Breaks and Beats. These were introduced to the West Coast by Steve YANO. They came from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they were sold only at the Roadium. You can still see the Roadium sticker there. And these are called, once again, the Ultimate Breaks and Beats. If you're a DJ or a producer, you better know what these are. If not, don't call yourself a DJ or a producer. Me and High C right here, we know about these. Back in the day, I would have doubles of everything. Here's a quick story. When Ice Cube left NWA, he came over to my pad, and I was playing some beats for him. Before he left to New York to do his album, America's Most Wanted, he actually asked me if he can borrow a set of my Ultimate Breaks and Beats. I let him borrow it, never saw the dude again, man. I guess that's what he meant by Jacket for Beats. But you know what? Much love to Ice Cube. He helped put not only Compton, South Central, but West Coast on the map. So much love to him. But once again, these are the records that Steve introduced to the West Coast. You don't believe me? Ask Dr. Dre.
Breakbeat Lou, take one.
Well, my name is Luis Flores, aka Breakbeat Lou. I'm the co-creator of the infamous Ultimate Breaks and Beats compilation, which was a tool that was used in the 80s and 90s as a tool for DJs and then a tool for producers, from everybody from Marley Marl, Premier, DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, Dilla, Kanye, everybody that you could think of that did hip hop in the 90s and has that boom bap sound. Most definitely got the kicks and snares from our compilation. And the best way that I can describe hip hop is the essence of the grittiness of the hood. And I say we were instrumental for keeping hip hop, because without our compilation, most of the canon breakbeats and the breakbeats that became so infamous with records would not have been able to be obtained unless we released the records we released. So, God bless Breakbeat Lenny that's no longer with us, and my man Kev Harris for doing the covers. But UBB is most definitely the Bible for 90s hip hop for sure.
Wow. The instrumentation of, or the importance of the Roadium Swap Meet and the mixtapes in the careers of Eazy-E and NWA and Dre and Yella and a lot of other folks too, even Battle Cat, was very, very high because, again, they needed an outlet, particularly when people weren't really checking for them and that sound that they were trying to create elsewhere. At the Roadium, you had at least a way to sort of mass market your stuff and have people listen to it and give it. And they were doing mixtapes for them too. Dre was doing them, Yellow was doing them. So you could squeeze in, or they could squeeze in or sneak in some of that NWA stuff. So when people bought the mixtapes and they heard the songs in there, yo, what's that song? It's dope. I want to hear that again. So it was a way to really market NWA and market the material that they had that wasn't getting, let's say the radio play or getting the distribution that it needed at that time.
Steve is definitely a part of the beginning. And he was there, gave everybody a voice. And that was in the beginning. It gave everybody inspiration to want to do more. Like you, made you want to do more. Like me, made me want to do more. Like you, everybody ran. It goes down. The list is so long on how the Roadium Swap Meet inspired people to be able to put music out, because people couldn't put music out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you get your little song and you put it on the Roadium Swap Meet, it'd be all over LA. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to press up no records back in there. But you did. But if you got them to Steve, they would be on the mixtape, because he would put them on the mixtape. And I remember he was bringing the big crate, and Steve, you get the crate and put them diamond style, and he would pick them up, give them to Drake, 4-track. They had the 4-track right there, and Steve would just sit there the whole day. They sit there the whole day. So I just remember that. I mean, a lot of stuff happened back then. We went our separate ways, but at some point, I still always remember. It's like your first grade teacher, you know her name.
Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy.
crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf-ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium spot beat, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man. Got my man going down. Hey, mom, what's for dinner?
Man, like the
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio. We're going to jump right into it. We're live here with my boys, Sergio, Frank, Akwid in the house. I'm having a fucking dope-ass time, bro.
Likewise, bro. Likewise,
it's unbelievable, man. And so I want to pick up right where we left off last time. Last time, you had dropped your second album, and if I'm correct, you said it was on 95?
It could have been 95, 96, around there.
95, 96. Now, you guys get signed to Univision, if I'm correct, 2003?
Yes.
Okay.
2002, maybe late 2002. Late
okay,
2002.
so let's say 2002 from 96.
We have to add, there was a third album in 2000 called 2002, AD, 2002 AD. It was in English.
From Juvenile.
No, as Akwid, but it was in English.
Okay.
It was our English
okay,
album.
so here we have from 96 to 2002.
Roughly.
Yes,
okay, roughly. So now here's what I wanted
feel
to
like
ask.
I'm in court. Yes, Your Honor. Roughly, Your Honor. I don't recall.
So somebody actually said, you sound like an interrogator, Tony. But you know what? I love details, bro. Like, I love specifics.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Ahora. So now, from Juvenile, from 96, how did that transition to Akwid? Who came up with Akwid? For those that may not know what Akwid stands for.
Originally, it was the lyrical AK.
Okay.
That was his when we were with Scrap. MC Scrap was in Juvenile Style. He was from Long Beach.
Long Beach. He knew the Dogg and everybody.
He used to go to ITT Tech out here in
this guy just fucking flamed me up.
Right here,
fucking
right? Down the street
down the street, 223rd in Wilmington.
So he met this dude named Scrap there, and we had a group with him for a while. It was all three of us. It was still Juvenile Style. We had the hats and everything. It's fucking dope. But anyways, after that, that's when we started doing we decided to do a group by ourselves, both of us, and that was the name.
So we went through a few names. He came up with the A&W, like A&W root beer, like AK and Wicked, and that was cool. But then one day he shows up. I don't know if he was doing drugs or not, and he said, what about Akwid? And I was like, what the fuck is that? He says, it's our nicknames, AK and Wicked put together. So, all right.
Lyrical AK, DJ like Wicked. I was DJ Wicked.
Okay, DJ Wicked.
Yeah.
AK.
And AK.
So why AK?
Because I know that fucking DJ Quick said I won't compare myself to no Gat because to me that bullshit is super whack. But I went against the grain. I was always against the green kind of guy. And like again, I'll reiterate, we went to an all-black school, so I was constantly competing with the black kids lyrically. Okay. I was doing that shit in high school, and I was más o menos. I wasn't the best freestylist, but a fucking under 5 foot Mexican at the time rapping in the Crenshaw district. At that time, it was okay. He's okay.
And how well did you do freestyling against him?
I would say 7, 8 out of 10. Goddamn it, 7, 8 out of 10.
He was like a 5, 6.
No, this motherfucker. He was my fucking producer, my DJ. He don't know about rap. He don't know about rap. All right, but no, and that's why I said, you know what? I want to call myself the Lyrical AK from this point on forward. That was my professional rap name, the Lyrical AK. Okay.
That shit is whack.
And he thought that he was the best DJ in the world because he used to copy your ass. He didn't know he was a carbon copy, so he called himself DJ Wicked.
He used to copy it.
Because he couldn't call himself Wizard because there was already one.
You know what was a influence to a lot of our scratching? There was these series. Or a group, it was the Megatron crew. They did the Bass at 8 Miami,
right.
DJ Debonair, DJ Extraordinaire.
DJ Extraordinaire was fucking otro pedo.
We used to mimic a lot of their shit when we were, DJing and stuff. We would try to bite their scratching and all that shit. But that was a big influence. I remember it was an era when we were buying a lot of that Miami booty music.
Right.
Was, we had to play it at parties, so we bought a lot of that stuff.
Okay. I would say no. I don't give a fuck who you are, how big of a badass rapper you are. You bit somebody at some day, and we were biters. We used to. we had to because we had to find something to fucking do with what we had.
Right.
That was it.
Okay. So you guys, Akwid, you guys dropped an album in 2002.
Yeah, that was even hotter garbage in the previous. No, I'm kidding. No, like I was telling them earlier, there's one of those albums where we find ourselves finding our path. You know what I mean? Our music starting to sound a little bit more original in a sense of beats. We were already recording in a Roland 1680s.
Wait, you're missing one part. This is really important. There came a moment in the 90s where we stopped sounding like everybody else. Yeah, and it wasn't like we said, hey, we need to find our own sound, but all of a sudden his production got weird and my lyric delivery got weird.
Well, thank you.
And we have like music that nobody has ever heard where we were, if you want to say, refining
that album
what we
is
were
crazy.
doing.
That whole era was crazy.
Es una pinche mamada, güey, right? But from that, I think that's where Akwid came from.
Yeah.
After that, we said, okay, we found our sound that we were comfortable with. Not that somebody came and said, oh, you guys are different. You guys, no, we were just like, dude, that's otro pedo.
Like we're good with
We're somebody, like now I'm delivering how I want to. He's producing and delivering how he wants to. Now it's more comfortable. Now it's more our own.
But the third album was still English, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
That was still
English.
Okay, now that album drops independently.
No, that came out through Banyan Entertainment with Sam Hernandez and Todd Curry.
Todd Curry with
Mixed Matters. It was a small label, but we did the single with Renee Change.
That was like our first time. That was right before.
That one got some play on Pocos Pero Locos. Originally with Always. I mean, that's the one we started with, but it was their first single, then our second single for that album. And it did what it did for its time. It wasn't a big. We never did something that was something you could say, okay, that marked what it did for us.
Now those 3 albums. Which one would you say was your favorite, if you guys had any?
I would say 2002 AD.
That's the third one.
That's the third one. That one till today, I'm a fan of that album.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a lot of the earlier ones. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're not dope, but they're a little cringy now. When you hear a lot of the stuff,
there's some shit that you feel like ashamed of. Like, damn, I was doing that. Like, why did I say that? And he says, but that one, 2002 AD, I think we kind of grab a hold of ourselves.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, ya no es necesario to say, nigga. Ya no es necesario to do this. Ya no, like you have an identity now.
Like we weren't mimicking what was on the radio no more. We were like, listen to this beat it was just crazy ideas from there on. So it was more fun that way.
Right. Okay.
We weren't chasing a sound or anything.
So now that album drops, okay, and how well does it do? Does it do well at all?
You know what? I won't say that it.
I think you got a round of applause somewhere now.
Yeah, like I don't think, as far as record sales, dude, we had zero. We had nothing, right? But it gave us. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying to make a fucking una pinche marca de decir,
right.
No, pues vendimos un chingo, no. But it did give us something. It gave us, okay, now we were beginning to get looked at as a serious group. Mm-hmm. Like, we were no longer a Chicano rapper group because Akwid was always just fucking doing some stupid shit on their own. And Kool-Aid and E-Dub started to pay attention to us in a good way, you know. It never felt with E-Dub or with Kool-Aid like there was any bad chemistry or anybody's trying to do anything. They were really just accepting us and putting us into the Chicano rap culture when they respected what we were doing as different. So I seen that as like, okay, this is fucking cool. You know, there is no discomfort. Right. No hay ningún pedo. This is for real. You know, okay. So anything that they asked us to do, anything that we did for them. As a matter of fact, the only reason we ever got fucking signed to Univision was because we were at a Pocos Pero Locos event.
Okay.
Straight up.
That's where I was going now. So the third album drops. How long before you guys, if you want to call it the word discovered, that you guys were going to take this sound and start creating a full album? Was it your idea? Was it his idea?
He tells the story better because I was against the whole idea at first.
We were... we have an electronics background. You know, I'm an engineer. Right, okay. Right? Facial recognition, the shit that you see on Snapchat and all that shit, we developed that about fucking 15 years ago in an outfit called Resonance Technology in Northridge, California. So I have an engineering background. We did it with a different type of technology. We were using facial recognition. It was more of eye movement and shit like that. I'll explain that later if you want. Anyhow... we were working there, and at the same time we landed that gig with Kool-Aid and E-Dub. They invited us to a Pocos Pero Loco event. We hadn't done nothing.
It was in Huntington Park, actually.
In HP. And we went and we did it. You know, we were always the odd apple to the Chicano rap. But they loved what we do, so they would throw us on, and we fucking loved performing. So we were there. By that time, we have already spoken to everybody. We've already been through quality records, Sam Hernandez, John Brune. I mean, we were tired of the entire... We weren't looking for nothing. We were just really having fun. Yeah. And this Chinito comes up to us. He wasn't Chinese. He was Filipino. His name was Eric Medina. Eric Medina, he comes up to us after the show and he says, you know, you guys are really cool. I have some people that you might want to meet. He was an insurance salesman. He wasn't even part of the
Jose Sarinana was there too, I remember.
Jose Sarinana, he was the investor. Yeah. He owned a fucking collision company or something like that. And I told Eric, you know, I don't know you. You know, I really don't want to fucking waste my time with talking to people and doing shit like that. And he goes, no, you need to meet him. His name is Nelson Mendoza. His father is Juan Mendoza. And he brought Quebradita music to the U.S. with Guillermo Santizo and that kind of shit. And I was like, you know what? I talked to this guy, said, well, let's humor him. So they talked amongst themselves. And then they talked to us. And shit was still shady. We were still at work. And one day he says, well, why don't you guys put something together? We said, all right, you know, we're tired of fucking performing like clowns for people. Like, make me a demo, show me what you can do. And I tell this guy, you know what? After work, fucking go home, do what the fuck you do. Put some fucking shit together and let's fucking make a song. So he goes home. By this time, we were influenced by our cousin. His name is Pancho. He had just came from Guadalajara, Mexico, when Pancho Barraza, the artist, regional Mexican, was fucking just booming with all this music. So he comes to us. And in our production sessions, now we're drinking, listening to his influence in the regional Mexican music. And I can't sing, but I love to sing when I'm drinking, right? Me hago pendejo. Sí. And he starts dropping a fucking instrumental behind a regional Mexican beat. And I'm like, all right. And then I get stupid more. And then I start rapping behind it. And it's like, okay, this is not that bad. Like, this is actually, más o menos.
This was in the height of the whole Quebradita movement. Okay. Keep in mind.
When all that was, we knew nothing about music. We knew nothing, dude. And when these people approach us, and I tell him, you know what? Well, fucking echale chingazo, see what the fuck comes out. We go, we do our 9 to 5. He goes home. He comes back the next day, and he shows me a track. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, that's pretty fucking cool. It was a fucking loop of Te Lo Pido Por Favor, you know, Juan Gabriel, Banda, El Recodo, todo ese pedo. I'm like, fuck, all right.
Hold on a second. Now, was it just a straight loop that you had to? Did you flip it?
Fucking straight loop. It's straight loop. Okay. Because the song itself lends itself for that. It has a part where you can do 4 bars. of the just the charchitas, the boom, pa, pa, pa,
Mind
boom,
you,
pa. So I knew I was able to do it and then use the chorus from the song, como te puedo pagar, use it as a chorus and shit. So to us, it was like just like a rough draft of this. Okay, you want us to do some shit in Spanish? Here's what we do.
No, they didn't ask for Spanish. They didn't, not yet.
That's when I was fighting with you at work.
That was after the fact. But the thing is that
okay, now when you heard that loop, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
That's what I'm trying to get to. That when he brought me shitty music, I was an influence. Remember, I was the writer, I was the rapper, he was my DJ, and then turned my producer. The motherfucker made himself a producer. I don't know how, right? Whatever. But I couldn't write Salud if his music wouldn't motivate me. And he would bring me some shit, and I'd be like, I can't. Like, what are we gonna write here?
It was hot fire too.
He learned my style, and he would bring me tracks, and I was like, okay, that influences me to do this. That influenced me to do a love song. Like I was motivated by what he brought me. But when he brought me that fucking track, I heard nothing but fire in my head, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's some shit. Andas en algo, let's go, let's write it. And we went home. We put the song together. It was a one night thing again, and we put it together. And then the next day I arranged a meeting with these people on our lunch break. I said, okay, so we have a song, ¿Quieren venir a escucharla? Let's hook up. They came by, played it for them. They couldn't fucking believe it. The only thing is that it was in English. We wrote it in English. No Hay Manera is originally written in English. And the guy says to me, can you do that shit in Spanish? And I'm like, fuck. I looked at him sideways. I'm like, don't start this shit again. This is what we are, is what we do. Yeah. It's our fucking shit. Don't start trying to fucking manipulate. If you don't fucking like it, just say it. And he's like, no, dude, this shit is fucking otro pedo. But the people that I'm connected with, they can do something with it. But if it's in Spanish, and I seen it clicked in my head, I said, órale, after all the influences that I've already heard, fucking Melo's verse and everything, I said, okay, aquí hay algo. So I went back to work, to the assembly line. Says, motherfucker, you know what? He says, what they say? I said, they loved it. Fuck yeah. I said, there's only one thing. He says, what's that? I said, we got to do it in Spanish. He goes, fuck those motherfuckers. I ain't gonna fucking do shit in Spanish. Fuck them. We don't need to talk to them no more. I was like, look, dude, you're fucking missing out on something here. There's something there. I said, do me a favor. I said, go home and fucking humor me. Go home. I didn't even write my shit yet, right? I was still on work mode, always. My job required a lot of fucking thinking. So he comes back to me the next day with his fucking verse in Spanish, and it blew me the fuck away. I said, you motherfucking non-rapping motherfucker. You
my
fucking
DJ.
My DJ fucking just smoked me in Spanish. Wow. So I go home and I said, I gotta outdo him. So now I'm listening to my lyrics and I'm fucking translating. And to translate between English and Spanish, it ain't a fucking walk in the park.
Right.
Because you can't say the same shit and have the meaning and attitude. Like you either come across soft.
Shit translates different.
Yes, so we had our work to do. And I went home and I did my fucking jale. He did his fucking jale. And we slapped it together. We brought it to this dude. A fucking... boom, that shit just fucking went dominoes from there, dude. Balls out.
So it was that one song.
It was that one song. They said, fuck, can you make more of this? It was like fucking hotcakes. I'm like, well, we don't have nothing else. This is all we have. Well, can you make more? I said, we could. Well, you have to. And I'm already, more negative than positive. I'm like, these fuckers are we're going on another ride. Yeah. And I'm tired of this shit. I was like fucking done up here.
Yeah.
And, we had a 9 to 5, we had children, we had shit happening already. We had life happening. So it's not like we could just fucking split. And what we did is we went home every day after work to his fucking one-bedroom apartment and with all his shitty equipment. And we produced one song per day. We completed a 10-song album and the completion of the entire album with musicians and everything written in scores in a month. Every song that we produced for these people, they were blown away. And I was like, what's happening? The thing is that we were accustomed to what we were listening to. Fucking DJ Quick, Second and None, fucking IC, fucking Mellow, dude. We were at another level. And when we went regional Mexican, they're so far behind that anything that we turned in was fucking gold to them.
Yes.
Hot fire.
Hot fire.
I agree.
And they burned us up with it. And we just, what are we going to do today? We would call some dude. This called Brian Plasencia.
He was part of a marketing team. He was the genius
street team.
Yeah.
Hey Brian, aquí estamos haciendo otra pinche rola. You know, any fucking ideas? He was like, have you guys heard this fucking song? Mi gusto es by so and so artist. Yeah. You think you can flip that? Fuck yeah, I can flip it. Say, hey, dude, I need you to make me a beat like this, like that, and I need to feel this way. So I started now telling him emotionally how I wanted to feel with the song that we needed to write. And he would be able to produce that. So that's where his genius comes in. I was just a writer. Le dimos chingazos. We turned in that fucking song the next day. Wow, it's fucking fire. Another one. So that's how the shit just progressed because we were all fucking hungry and having a good time with the fuck we were doing.
Now, is it possible that you guys tapped into a market that you guys possibly didn't know was there?
Yeah,
well, absolutely,
100%. 100%.
Yes. Beyond a doubt. You know what I'm saying? The Spanish stuff was already done. The regional Mexican already existed. The most important thing I think that happened in our career were that we did not know the people we were dealing with. We didn't know what kind of moguls they were in the industry. We would see them as I would meet anybody else in the street. So when I seen you and I was introduced, I was like, hey, nice to meet you, man. What can I do for you? You know, why are we here? When they were trying to explain to us,
I'm here to rap.
Do you realize who the fuck you were sitting next to? I'm like, no. That's Guillermo Santizo. I'm like, all right, good for him. He made Menudo. Cool. He made Tigres del Norte. Oh, that's fucking dope. Wait, what? Yeah, he made fucking Marco Antonio Solís. He made Los Bukis. He made Los Enanitos Toreros. He made Banda Recodo. He made, I mean, not Recodo, but the regional Mexican fucking Banda sounded it. And I was like, holy fuck, all right. This guy's willing to, he's
that's where we started seeing the legitimacy.
That's where the shit started turning. This motherfucker was dropping fucking 40K on an album that we were producing, and we didn't know what the fuck we were in for. We had no clue, but this man had a different vision.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
His history told me really quick, este vato puede ver debajo del agua. You know, he can see talent. And I said, you know what? I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but let's just keep doing it.
Okay, now, you guys, they like everything. So now let's move forward a little bit. They tell you guys, let's go into the studio. Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay. So now you bring in your samples, your drum machine, whatever.
His shitty shit.
So now
it was roaches in my MP.
Literally, right? I made his backlight of his MP went out, and we couldn't afford a fucking LCD backlight back then. It was a liquid crystal. So I made him with surface mount LEDs. I fucking soldered him a fucking series of backlights, and we fucking shoved them in there, and we connected them.
It's still in there. I'll send you a picture of that shit. If they still come on, I'll send you a picture.
His shit got hot spots. You can't even read what it says. I'm telling you, we were a fucking miracle.
Yes. So now they bring in fucking charcheta.
That was a whole another fight in its own, you know.
Okay, so explain the first day of the studio. What was the first song you guys recorded?
I think it was My Manera. The thing with that one, you know,
there's a story behind that.
Our mentality was, you know, here's a sample. This is the sample is the hook of the song. Blah 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 blah. So when we go into the studio,
we were broke. We were very poor.
We have no clue what these people budgets is like and what their pool is like. So to us, we're like, we're just gonna go make our shit sound better, our samples and shit.
Running his garbage through a board.
Yeah,
that was it.
So we get to the studio, you know,
truth.
I'm sitting there with sounding like garbage. Sitting there with my MP and the fucking keyboard, and then the guy starts talking about, okay, so these are.
You know what brand his keyboard was? It was just a black keyboard.
It was in Elises. It was in Elises.
It was in nothing.
Anyway, so you know they started telling us, okay, so these are trumpets and these are trombones, and I'm like, well, yeah, on the keyboard that's how I did it, you know. And they're like, okay, so we need to bring those in and bring them. We're like, okay, yeah. So then, when they start bringing musicians in, you know, like these guys are gonna change the whole thing. What was necessary that he heard was that all this shit needs to be done live.
Yeah.
So we had a poor man's mentality. So when they said tenemos que traer un trompetista, I was like, shit, who's gonna pay for that shit? we don't need them. The samples right here. Right. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need them. So our mentality was really, really fucking negative through that whole production.
Yeah.
And they said, well, ¿dónde está la música? ¿Quién la escribió? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Where are the musical scores?
Within the first days,
musical scores.
That was the thing. Within the first days, they realized that we had nothing. It was not written. You know, there's people are used to working with scores and the song, and we're like, what do you mean? Like, this is what it is.
Like, fuck, we sampled.
The next day,
this is a sample. Do you know what a sample is? No.
The next day, they brought in Luca. I'll never forget his name. He was taking our hip hop beats and writing them for the musicians, for scores and all that shit.
Like he was writing music straight up.
He was turning my beats into fucking musical scores.
Wow.
For the musicians.
Wow. Now, what studio was this?
This was
Hola Music.
Hola Music Studio in Van Nuys. It was also owned by a Argentinian. We ended up in a group of fucking the Mexican industry, the music, other than the artists themselves and probably certain investors, was mainly ran by the fucking Argentinians.
At that time.
Yeah, they were connected. I mean, our engineer turned out to be engineer. Federico Erlich was his last name. We didn't know nobody. It was like we were surprised that he would say, "Che, mira que los muchachos necesitan un micrófono." Federico would show up with an entire fucking set of this fucking gold mic. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I was like, whoa, all right. So they started saying, well, what the fuck do you need to complete this fucking album? So, all right, you want to play like that? Well, we need this sample. Which one is it? Lo de no hay manera. Okay, te lo pido por favor. We didn't know what we were getting into. This fucking chorus was written by Juan Gabriel. The song was written by Juan Gabriel.
Right. Which happens to be my mother's, rest in peace, favorite singer of all time.
There you go. We didn't know. We heard this song interpreted by Banda El Recodo, by El Mimoso, which was the singer in the group. And we said, pero che, es que tu sample se oye muy sucio y se le escucha todo. I said, because we don't have the original tracks.
Right.
This is a sample. We had to teach them so they can understand. And say, right. Pues como lo limpiamos, che? Fuck, it'd be great if we had the reel, but we don't. Fucking next day, a fucking reel-to-reel puts into the fucking studio with the fucking 24-track of Juan Gabriel's fucking Banda. And I said, whoa, all right.
Yeah, that was
this
some other
is
shit.
Otro pedo. We were all of a sudden spoiled when we're used to his fucking 4-track and his tapes and struggle. ¿Qué más necesita, muchachos? Pues estaría bien si este muchacho viniera a cantar, porque then we have... Okay. Mañana scheduled, boom. And our days just went like this. After work, we weren't going home no more. We were doing our 9 to 5 and we'd straight into the studio, desvelarnos. Next day, go back to the studio, and it was like that. One day, the other man, Nelson Mendoza, comes in. Very, very fucking good, respectable friend.
Not to be confused with Nelson Mandela.
No, nada que ver, güey. And he says, pues, Guillermo Santizo wants to know what your overhead is. In order for you guys to
because we had to finish. They wanted that album today, yesterday.
Mind you, I was in the research development of the company. I couldn't just fucking leave. I was an asset to the company. We used to produce 2 or 3 inventions for the company per year. And I mean inventions, not fucking remakes. Like really thought of some shit.
Right.
So we were an asset, and I said, fuck. I was like at that time I was probably making $23-25 an hour back then.
Yes.
So I was in a good place. I was fucking renting in this fucking apartment in Northridge, California, and I was in the fucking hood, but I didn't know where I was. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Entonces, my brain just went fucking crazy, and I went to this guy and I said, okay, well, let me talk to my brother. So well, these motherfuckers want to know where our overhead is. Like, what's our overhead? So well, how much do we need to maintain per month? They want to know a 6-month period or a 3-month period. And I said, we calculated. So I went. And I threw them a number 3 times that. And I told him,
I'm going to leave this right here, so para cualquiera que... Go ahead.
Entonces, según yo pues, estaba bien. And I go back to them and I say, fuck, we're going to get turned down. Good, we get to just stay and work and fuck all this shit, right? And I go back and le digo, no, pues esto es lo que ganamos mensualmente cada uno.
Yeah.
I lied through my fucking teeth. The guy says, all right, let me go talk to him. Goes back, comes back with a motherfucking check. And I said, okay, well, we can't fucking quit like this because I'm respectful to my boss.
We wanted an excuse why not to do this.
We fought that shit, dude. We fought that, and then they said, we need you full time. We have interviews, we have this lineup. But fuck, we got our jobs. I raised the kid. I had a 2-year-old kid that I brought home at the age of 2. Today she's fucking 20. She turns 21 December 27th. So I had a huge responsibility in my hand at the time, and I couldn't just fuck around my job. I couldn't go to my mom and say, guess what?
And insurance and everything.
Guess what, mom? I quit my job, motherfucker.
Right.
Which you did do that, by the way.
This guy.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought, I'm good right here. This guy, when I tell him, he's like,
open it for me, please.
Oh.
Con eso puede.
I thought he said salados.
Que labras, güey.
There you go.
Síguele. Go ahead.
I tell this guy, well, this is how it's going to work out. You know, the numbers are going to work out like this, and it's going to give us an overhead of a year and a half. I said, if we can't pull this shit together in a year and a half, then our shit ain't shit. I said, but we got to take a risk.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. He was like, dude, no, like el pinche jale, and you know, these fucking people. I said, dude.
It was just like, to me, it was like, here we go again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to me, in my mind, the numbers had already worked out. I said, look, even if we stay in this outfit for a year and a half, we're going to have more growth. Like, my mentality was fucking marketing the numbers, and I was already doing the shit. He's like, all right, let's do it. I go back to do it. I said, bueno, pues vamos a echar el chingazos. What do we got to do? Sign here. Well, it wasn't even a contract. We hadn't signed no contract. Proyecto Akwid, the entire album was produced without a fucking contract until the end.
What the
fuck? We had people from Universal, Latino. We had every fucking label coming to check out our shit in the studio. We had Pepe Garza coming into the fucking studio. And just like, fuck, okay, what are you guys doing?
Okay, I have to stop you guys there because there's two questions that I need to ask you.
Damn it, I need to stop talking.
Okay, no, okay. You guys had Adan Sanchez.
Yeah, that's correct.
On one of the songs, which for the people that may not know who that is, that's Chalino
Sanchez's son, correct.
Son. How did that happen?
Okay, the same way that the Jenny Rivera thing happened.
Okay, before we get to Jenny, let's talk about Adan.
Okay, la misma gente que nos estaba introduciendo a la cultura, digamos, musicalmente, de lo que estamos haciendo, we were from the hip-hop era. We were rappers. We were not really a original Mexican type of person. I love regional Mexican music because it's just cultural to me. I love it.
Yes.
But these were all new talents that were being pushed on the radio. We had no idea that they were all connected to the same fucking moguls that were moving our shit. So when they said, ¿qué les parece hacer algo con Adan Sánchez? Digo, pues, ¿quién es Adan Sánchez? Pues mira, el chavalo tiene 19 años, 20 más o menos, es hijo de Chalino. And, excuse me, we weren't starstruck by porque es el hijo de, hay que meterlo. We said, okay, how is he going to fit to what we're doing? Like, we needed our music to be music before anything else.
Correct.
And these people, I believe through Pepe Garza, the meeting was arranged. Pues vamos a traerlo. So what we started doing in the studio is like, okay, we have this song here. I think we can fit him here. His vocal range sounds like it can go with this note.
Right.
And that's how I left that homework up to him. You know, he's the guy that has a ear for music. Y encontramos esa canción, and they brought him in, and that fucking kid just fucking went in there, balls out, and fucking killed it. We're like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
That was a marriage between hip hop and regional Mexican music at its core.
I think when they started bringing those artists, if I can compare it to anything, is like when they say, you know, it'd be cool. Like today's artists, like you'll recognize a new artist because he did a featuring with so and so, somebody who's hot.
Yes.
At the time, they were bubbling in the regional Mexican, so they seen like we don't need to make featurings with hip hop artists, you know, regional Mexican artists. You know what I mean? So that's where Jenny and Adan were at that time. They were beginning, but they were hot on Que Buena at the time. So they were suggested because of their popularity kind of a little bit at the time. So it was a marriage between both cultures because La Que Buena, Pepe Garza's radio station, they all played regional Mexican. And then you see the people who are listening to that music in the station, they look just like me. And I think I'm all hip hop. But this motherfucker listening to Chalino, but he looks like me. I'm like, okay, you know, you start seeing the culture clash where it's like, well, it is me, you know, and I get it. So, you know, you accept it and just being a part of the culture. Not as in, we never seen a value in the artist.
It was never of an interesting with us. We were against the grain. Like, wait, what are we supposed to do with them? Like, ellos cantan español, nosotros estamos haciendo rap. So we didn't see it until the marriage was actually done musically.
Yeah.
And it was like, orale, okay, I see it, you know, it fits. And that influenced the next artist. It influenced us, okay, what else can we create from here? Okay. So things started progressing in a way that we couldn't calculate. We didn't invent that shit.
Right.
It just happened in the most natural fucking way ever.
Yeah. So now, speaking of Jenny Rivera, rest in peace, how does she come into the picture?
It was in the same way. Mind you, when I was working when I was at work in my workbench, engineering and shit and soldering and all kinds of shit, I used to be a Que Buena fan listening to the music, you know. Como te digo, yo soy bien paisa, güey. And I used to know Jenny Rivera from there. Okay. I used to know that she was an upcoming artist, but she was already on the airwaves, so I had a lot of respect and I liked what she was doing. So when we were in the studio and we were doing all this, I didn't know that these people were going to suggest her as well as a featuring. So cuando nos dicen, ¿qué les parece si hacemos algo con Jenny? And I was like, okay, that's fucking cool. How are we going to do this, you know?
Did you guys have a track already?
We did, pero igual se me hace que era en inglés.
Yeah, it was in English.
It was in English.
Okay.
Eye Candy.
It was
Damn,
called
I
Eye
forgot
Candy.
about that one too.
Taquito de ojo. So what happened is that there's this girl that we've been working with ever since the 90s, Renee Miara. She's been my neighbor ever since I was fucking doing nothing. Es una güerilla with fucking dreads. Her dad was an opera singer. He died also. May he rest in peace. And I believe her mom also sang. So she had a different type of skill and talent. She's an all-around musician. She can sing like the best fucking person I know personally that can sing. So we started screwing around, and he would give me the music. I would give it to her, and I tell her, Renee, I need a melody, and I need some fucking lyrics, and hook it up. And she was fucking overnight.
She was awesome.
Write some shit. She'd give it to me, and we'd listen. We'd record Renee in English, and then I would take the material, translate it to Spanish, and then I would hand it to Jenny.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jenny's dynamic vocal range and her way of singing was nowhere compared to an opera singer. But the influence was enough to where Jenny could push her vocal chords
to try to match
a little bit different.
Yeah.
And her melodies were completely changed from what the people are used to listening to. So when they heard Jenny Rivera with Akwid, that was not Jenny anymore. That was a completely different artist. And they're like, puta madre, how did you do this? But it wasn't that. It was just that Renee, with her fucking writing talent, was able to influence her indirectly through us. And that is why that shit came out so different.
Okay.
It was todo puro pinche experimento.
The album's done. You guys listened to it. What was your guys' opinion?
Hot garbage? No.
I don't think I ever had that moment because things progressed too fast for me.
Too fast?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, to me, I was always looking after our best interests financially, our status, our business. I've already been through the filters. So I was really writing more instinctively and following a format rather than me really putting my heart out into that. So I never took a moment to say, fuck, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, I was always in an administrative mind, and I don't know what it is.
I think to me there was a moment when you realize that this doesn't sound like
the norm.
And you know what you have is different. More than anything, instead of, I never said this is gonna be it. This is the shit. I was like, fuck, I wonder what people are gonna think.
Okay.
You know what?
More than anything, I was worried about public opinion. I remember at that time more than because we were transitioning from our English into Spanish, and you know, I mean, at the time it was El Control Machete, Cartel de Santa, Molotov. So you know, we knew our rap was a little bit more evolved, but musically, you know, I wasn't sure because it was so different. You know.
But here's the funny part about that. I told you already. Today I'm 46 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
I text this motherfucker once in a while and I hear our old shit and I just text him and I say, hey dude, this one song that we did this era is a musical masterpiece. Like, wow, es otro pedo.
Fucking high.
It's barely catching up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am appreciating his production at a later time in life.
Right.
Because my mind was always not really there. My mind was always, fuck, okay, we need to make ends meet in whatever the fuck we're doing.
I mean, I don't know if any artist that knows how amazing the shit they're doing while they're doing it until after, you know, they see public reaction. Okay. You know?
I'm going to give you my opinion about the album. Okay.
Shit, here we go. Fuck.
Okay.
That's fine.
Turn off the
you know
cameras.
what? Just for the record, I like you a lot. And you fucking mark my childhood, so go ahead. Dude, say.
Okay. Let me start here. Okay. For everybody out there watching, there's not too many people out there that can revamp their entire career. Start off called juvenile style, and then eventually switch up their whole style and be called Akwid. There's few people that can revamp their style, come out as a new group, and really explode the way they did. Now, when I first heard that song, I didn't know who it was. I said it gave me goosebumps that I had to ask that lady, who was that? She gave me the CD, and I saw Akwid, and I remember the way she pronounced it. It's Akwid. Se me hace que se llaman Akwid, you know. And it was funny because the first thing I thought about, they could have come up with a better name, you know. Like it was
what
weird.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, you know, I
what
thought
is that? Soap?
Yeah, I thought Akwid. So, but the music was fucking insane. Now, I went out and bought the CD. I came home, and as a matter of fact, in this very same studio, I didn't bump it. I put on my fucking headphones, okay? And I listened. I listened to the shit going on in, you know, left ear, right ear, left ear, right ear. And I never like Misfits album. I called him as soon as I heard his album. I said I could not press skip.
Okay.
Because I'm one of those guys that 30 seconds, I give you 30 seconds. Okay.
Right. Tough crowd.
Yeah,
tough crowd.
Huh?
Like,
what if you got
skip.
a long intro?
Yeah. Skip. But I tell you, the intros what got me. Vamos a hacer historia. When you fucking said that right there, I said, okay, I gotta listen. You know.
All right.
And then boom, when that motherfucker came in, bro, and then the next one, boom, grab, boom, boom. That motherfucker was hard. I was like, fuck. These motherfuckers took Banda instruments and made fucking hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys created your own lane, your own music, and if I could say your own genre, and hearing the engineering, hearing how clean everything sounded. And I told you first, I said, to me, that was like the Spanish or Mexican Chronic album.
That's crazy, man.
I'm honored to hear that from you.
No, I told you that first, and then I told you that. I said, to me, that was the Spanish Mexican Chronic album. And for those of you that do not believe me, go listen to every fucking song on that album. I challenge you.
Fucking right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I could not press skip. I kept going, and then
yeah.
But like I was like, oh shit! Every fucking album, every song had me.
Tony, I'm fucking honored, man. I say that from the bottom of my heart. I'm telling you that when I heard the shit you guys were doing, I was mimicking you. Yeah, I was trying to be like you guys. I was fucking IC for like 2 years, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But the fucking beats, and to hear you say that shit right now is really something, you know. It's a full circle for me. You know, this is an interview unlike any other we've ever done because nobody has ever really touched to the root. Everybody just wants to know, ustedes son de Michoacán, ustedes hacen esto, so the shit gets fucking whatever.
Right.
But this is real, you know what I'm saying? This is real.
I'm being real with you guys because, let me tell you guys, here's how you know how your fucking album's a classic, bro. And Melo knows this. When everybody else tries to be like you.
Yeah.
And I know you guys heard it. Everybody was mimicking you guys' shit, and I know you guys fucking laughed. Like
you know, we never fucking, we don't pass judgment on nobody.
Yeah, not
because
only,
I used to mimic your shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I am who I am because I want to be like you guys.
Yeah, that's
it.
To us, we know what it is, and it's like I said, when they mimic you, is the best form of flattery. You know what I mean? And we never took it as hate or anything, or just it's like, okay, they're trying to. I think what a lot of the people who copied missed was they figured it was just, let me grab a sample from a Spanish song and throw it on a fucking hip hop track.
You know, wait, you have to understand that it's a little deeper than that. You know, I wore my brother's hand-me-downs. You know, I didn't have a fucking nickel in my fucking pocket.
Garzones.
You know, I learned to hustle. I did my shit in South Central LA. You know, my mom used to go out looking for me at night kind of shit. You know, and all of that contributes to who the fuck you turn out to be. You know, and what humbles you.
Yes, sir.
So I never, ever fucking look at somebody and say, you fucked me. No, it is my lesson to learn. It is my thing. I consider it a gift. You know, I never go... that I'm not that guy.
Right.
You know, and I never fucking pat myself in the back for saying Akwid created fucking Spanish rap. That's not true.
Right. I understand.
Or Banda rap or anything.
Or Banda rap. You know, we did our shit based on what we were influenced by. And I'm telling you that fucking Mellow, Frost, Lighter Shade of Brown, Delinquent Habits, Proper Dose, they all played a fucking part into what we ended up doing. Because we tried really hard to follow in the footsteps, and it's a business that a lot of people don't fucking know that is the toughest things to fucking do.
Yes.
On one of our albums, Clasificado R, we actually did a song with Frost where we recreated La Raza with Banda. You know, I felt we needed to do that to a certain extent of
gratitude.
Of gratitude in a way that, and a song that to me, I think that's when I started driving in at a certain point, and I remember just hearing that song on the radio, and it was culturally, it was painting the picture of the area where I lived.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was like seeing the album cover for Scanless. It was like, there's a Mexican dude with a white T-shirt and and a fucking hat, and it looked like I just seen him at the corner from where I live. So seeing that in an album cover to us, it was like, this shit is opening up. In every.
Look at this in a different way. When I learned about you, and I was listening to your shit, right? I never fucking once. If you were to put me right there in that moment back then, where I was, and somebody came and told me, one day you're gonna be sitting next to him, and he's gonna give you props for what you've done, I would have said, eat a dick the fuck on my face. This is otro pedo, dude.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with what I've accomplished. This has nothing to do with my success. This has nothing to do with anything. This is at the most humblest state in my heart, dude, that I would never think or imagine that I was gonna be fucking sitting in front of you and you were gonna be saying anything like that. Never in my fucking wildest dreams. I couldn't even go to the fucking Radiotron.
He's so mad about that.
I couldn't do fucking shit, dude. Because I had no resources.
Right.
This is otro pedo.
Okay, I'm gonna confess something to you, okay?
Damn it, she's gay. I knew it. I'm just fucking with you,
Okay, what I said about your album.
Thank you.
I truly mean it from the bottom of my fucking heart, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I work out 5 days a week, okay? And for the last several days, I always bump your fucking album, bro. As a matter of fact, I'll even prove it. I'll show you your album is on my fucking phone, okay? But let me say this. You brought up my album cover.
Yeah.
Okay. A guy with a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the honest to God truth. Okay. And your stories humble me. Your compliments humble me. There was a guy named Angel Montes, and I'm gonna give him credit. He owns the biggest Mexican restaurant in the city of Wilmington. Se llama Los Tres Cochinitos, and I like to give credit where credit is due. He was my best friend growing up. They called us to take pictures in LA for an album cover. I went to his house. I knocked on his door because we hadn't gotten our first check yet. And I said, he goes, what's up? And I said, hey, man, I need to borrow some clothes. And he said, come on in. So I went over there and I said, I need to borrow this white T-shirt. I need to borrow this.
That's funny.
I can't believe you're fucking saying that right now.
I need to borrow this Ben Davis.
Borrow your white T-shirt.
Oh, shit.
And I need to borrow your brand new Cortez.
You're shitting me.
No, I'm
telling me that you're wearing borrowed clothes in that album cover?
All of it.
It's called fucking promotion, no? ¿Cómo se llama? Pinche.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes, bro.
That's a crazy fact about. I have the 12-inch album. I have the 12-inch of that album.
The only thing that belonged to me was I only had enough money.
Calzones, güey.
No. Yeah. The only thing that I owned was the Tony A hat. I went to the Compton Indoor.
That's fucking nuts.
Okay, I went to the Compton Indoor and they stitched it, but I wanted something to shine. So you know what they did? They put rhinestones on it. Like
shit.
You could see it out there in the poster. And I had a regular SKANLESS hat. So let me throw the SKANLESS hat for this right here.
And put glitter on it.
Yeah. And that was it. Everything I wore was fucking borrowed,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy fact. That's a crazy fact.
That is a proof, dude, that you should fucking never. It should humble you. Everything, every fucking struggle, everything that you fucking do. It ain't really about the fucking glamour, the bitches, and the fucking money, like you guys were saying earlier. It's a little bit deeper than that. If not, we wouldn't fucking be sitting here.
Now, last night I was bumping your guys' videos on my big screen, okay? And I was, you know what I said to myself? Tomorrow's motherfuckers are gonna be here. That's the honest to God truth. I ain't fucking lying, homie.
Hey, this motherfucker was nervous as always. He's more like fucking 5 cigarettes in the car. No, fucking relax, dude.
Hey, it's because it's true, I mean, everybody has their thing of where they grow up, whatever you looked up to, And to me, a lot of the scratching and all that shit was like I said, we wanted to be DJs, and we wanted to. What you were doing on 4-track, we had no idea what the fuck 4-track was. We wanted to do live on 4 turntables.
Everything that we've done career-wise for the past fucking 15, 20 years, whatever you want to call it, there hasn't been a realer interview than this. Okay,
true,
because
that's true fact.
This really comes to my heart. This really comes to my upbringing. This is my family. This is what I stand for. I have never had the opportunity to speak so freely about fucking everything. I don't give a fuck who gets hurt or who doesn't. This is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? I never expected to be sitting here in front of you, to be humbled by your words, and I ain't fucking kissing your ass because I got none of fucking gain from that. Anybody that doesn't fucking know what we're talking about, anybody that doesn't know who the fuck you are,
they gotta do homework.
Anybody that fucking doesn't want to fucking be where we're at right now doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Literally, because this is the backbone of where it all started for us, dude.
Thank you,
Straight
brother.
up. I think if it wasn't for your fucking DJing and being on fucking doing what you were doing, I would have never heard what the fuck my influence was. It would have never happened.
True
That's
story.
The goddamn truth.
Thank you, brother.
True story.
You know
Thank
what? But I don't know how to thank you guys other than just say thank you, bro. Because when it comes to compliments, I get very, very speechless. You know. So once again, just thank you guys, brother.
I'm humbled.
You know?
Thank you, man.
So
it's an honor just being here.
One of my last questions is this: that album drops. Did it take off for you guys immediately?
Before it dropped,
instantly.
That song was on the radio before the album dropped, probably by what, 2 months? One month?
I'll tell you, we were invited to Lincoln Park to the first festival that for us with Que Buena, which we didn't know that they did this all the time. I think for Cinco de Mayo, and this was our first paid gig,
which we had forgotten.
All right, and we were so caught up.
If you don't mind me asking, how much was that first paid gig? That's all I'm asking.
$5,000. $5,000. All right. Dude, I was not clocking fucking $5,000 an hour like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And our gig was probably a few, like maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Because there was still no credibility behind us on stage.
Yeah.
We hadn't been seen live as Akwid. It was just this whole shenanigans on the radio that people were fucking loving. So we're looking at a fucking event, maybe 30, 50,000 festival porque hay muchos artistas. So me and this motherfucker's like, okay, we need 2 dancers, we need the fucking DJ, and guess what? We're gonna throw the fucking banda in the background, and let's not mic them in case they fuck up, because we don't want to go off beat. And we had this whole plan. The girls need to wear this. We had 2, 3 dancers. Lenny, Nicole, and Erica, we'll never forget them. They were our first dancers that fucking needed our paros on all over the place. They were good girls, man. And we went on stage. We performed that fucking song, No Hay Manera, in front of everybody. We didn't know what the fuck was happening. Everybody really loved it. We got fired up by the crowd. You know, we had the DJ, we had the fucking live instruments, we had the dancers, we had both cultures together on stage for the first fucking time.
And we were all wearing white tees.
And we were done. Yeah, we still look like fucking gangbangers, dude, right? We were all fucking done, and we got off stage, and we tell the DJ, grab your shit, the other group's coming on, till the dancers come on, let's go in the cars, we gotta bounce, we're done, and we're leaving. The entire crew's fucking leaving. And then this fucking assistant to the radio programmer comes and fucking taps me in the back and says, ¿Dónde van? I said, pues ya estuvo el pedo, ya acabamos, ya nos vamos. We were just fucking happy. We fucking made it. She says, we have to pay you guys. I said, what? You're oh yeah, that's right. You gotta fucking pay us for it. Dude, fucking mind-blowing. First time getting paid for what the fuck you just fucking did that does not feel like work. It was the biggest fucking shit in the
When
whole
you
world.
realize, when you get paid for something you love doing, it's a different feeling.
I hadn't held a $5,000 check in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ever.
Now, how far did that album take you guys? Like name some of the spots.
I'll tell it to you. I'll tell it to you like this. I don't even gotta get into a long story about that, dude. We still eat out of our first album today. My older daughter is going to school because of that.
Everything else has been
everybody
a bonus,
got shoes and food on their table because of that. You know, we are okay. You know, I can tell you that album to me is like, fuck, all right, yeah, we've done so much shit after that, but to be able to still stand on a stage and you know, I would have to say sometimes the amount of work we have in Mexico right now, the album was ahead of its time because
like the new artists,
fucking kids,
new artists in Mexico are coming up to us like, "Fuck, you guys influenced me." I'm like, dude, you're
motherfucker, this shit was fucking.
Dude, you're number one on the charts in Mexico, and you're telling me this. I'm like, what? All right,
you know, yeah. I mean, Hera MX, you know, we just met up with him. The cool dude. There's big rappers in Mexico. Fucking Santa Fe Clan, Neto Peña. You know, these guys are fucking popping. And
Cristian Nadal. You know, all the shit that's happening right now.
When we hear them tell us, you know, fuck, you know, I can't believe that I met you guys. You guys influenced my childhood. It's the same way I sound to you.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and it's hard to swallow. It's like, bro, you fucking kicking my ass right now on the charts. What are you talking about?
But I mean,
you know,
more than anything, to me, what has been more impressive is being able, like, you never expect to be performing in Colombia or Argentina or Japan, you know, and internationally, you know. I mean, Ecuador was a fucking surprise for us, you know. It's fucking sold out, fucking like a convention center.
Te lo pongo así de fácil, güey. We were our family DJ. My tías would say, pues que toquen estos güeyes. They had a party, right? It was que toquen estos güeyes. Yeah, we have a blast, right? So we were in fucking South Central LA, 41st and 1. We did that, and then we expanded a little bit in the neighborhood. And then we would do flyer parties.
Yes.
And we would do them for free so they can come see us fucking DJ and perform. I had a verse. And we would tell people, like, vamos a tener quinceañera. I said, let us DJ your quinceañera. If you let us DJ, we won't charge you and we'll perform live. So we were fucking pimping ourselves for zero, bro, just because we love doing it.
Yeah, I remember one time that we went to that quinceañera. It was somewhere in San Pedro. And the fucking DJs,
where at?
It was somewhere in not in San Pedro, like on the street was San Pedro and like Gage or something, somewhere down there in South Central. And the DJs were like a rap group, DJ rap group thing that were DJs
slash cholos, way.
Yeah, slash cholos, like from the hood, from around there.
Yeah.
So me and this guy, you know, is like, this is what we want to do.
We've never touched turntables 1200s before.
Every party that we ever went to, you find me standing behind the DJ. Like, I know I can do this. Just fucking let me touch him, you know.
This was a fucking
At the
night
time, I was like I said, DJing with a double cassette deck. But anyways, the guy, I was bugging the dude. He looked kind of young. He was like, I was bugging him, dude. Let me DJ. And I think he got fed up, and he said, all right, I'm gonna let you DJ. And I know I'm gonna let you battle my DJ, because he was a rapper. I was talking to the rapper. He said, I'm gonna let you battle my DJ. And if you lose, we're gonna fuck you up.
Así,
güey. Al pinche Chile. Dude, I was probably like fucking 11, 12. And I said, let's go. They never let me DJ. It never happened. But to me, it was like, I'm willing to take that ass beating just to fucking prove to you that I can DJ better than your fucking DJ.
Wow.
I've always had that mentality.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I knew what I could do on the Geminis. And to us, we used to daydream about some 1200s and of how good we could be on 1200s.
Just to make a correction, the first time we touched Technique 1200s, the ball monitor at 10th Street Elementary, when we were in the 4th and 5th grade, his name was Raul, and his sister used to work at the Salvation Army. The Red Shield,
right there in Pico Union.
For some reason, he noticed that we had, you know, an interest in music. And he was a DJ. His DJ name was DJ Expertise. This was in the...
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, DJ Expertise, I believe in the 80s, you know, with the disco DJs y todo ese pedo.
Sí.
Freestyle.
We were children, so he would take us, he had a Camaro, and he would take us to his house off of the avenues in Highland Park. And he would take us and say, hey, you know, use my turntables, record a tape. He would record us. I mean, we were fucking kids haciendo pendejadas.
Yeah. Sí.
We would grab the fucking needle and put it on the fucking... Because these are 1200s, bro. Last turntable attached was my fucking dad's fucking consola.
Sí.
You know? So I couldn't fucking... I was afraid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We would mix in a song and he would say, okay, this is how you adjust the tempo. That man, I don't know who or why... But this was when we were going through our whole hardship with the family, you know, with my my dad being alcoholic, fucking wife beatings. And I mean, it was just horrible at home. So our elementary fucking outlet for this man to give us that, he was a fucking gift.
It was like a field trip, you know, like extra.
And this was an after school thing. You'd say that to anybody today, they'd be like, that's a fucking pedophile. But no, nothing ever fucking, he was really, really fucking cool. He just took care, and then he would take us to have hamburgers, and he kind of like... If I would say, I think he felt sorry for us. I think he felt sorry for us, you know, and he just wanted to show us, you know,
a different...
hay algo más.
Yeah,
fuera de donde están ustedes.
True. That's how I felt about it.
So now, in closing, what can we expect from Akwid? Are you guys working on anything right now?
I can guarantee I'm gonna get older. Guarantee it.
As a matter of fact, I have my work cut out for me. There's so many featurings that we're working on right now, and we have the album coming out, El Atraco, that we've been announcing for like 3-4 years.
Here's in closing, we've grown a lot in industry, and we've captured the eye of brand new outfit, brand new record label, Parral Music. You know, these were the people that own El Parral nightclub out here. And this guy has been one of the fastest and quickest and most independent growing record label that we have been moved by and influenced by. So
who gets it?
When we come together, you know, Akwid Entertainment and Parral Music, it is an introduction of our past, future trajectory to the new artists that he has in hand as far as the young kids. You know, we've always said, we're always looking for talent. Send us your demos and all this, but you know how hard it is to find fucking talent.
Yes.
So we come across so much fucking talent that it's like, fuck, it's endless. All over again, the shit starts all over again. So estamos ya preparando mucho. Y para empezar, como te digo, you know, Cristian Nodal, a lot of people might not know in the fucking hip hop industry, but you look him up and he's probably one of the fucking hardest fucking artists right now in the regional Mexican industry that has flipped mariachi music in a different way.
Okay.
You know, JEDI MX is fucking top notch in Mexico. All other artists that we've mentioned, you know, we have so much happening, and it's almost from a different angle from where we started.
Okay.
A different perspective.
It's like recapturing the generation we captured at that time, but with the new era of, you know, the corridos verdes, the corridos de la calle, you know, whatever. They have so many names, but to me, like when I hear those corridos that these kids are doing, is like, fuck, this is gangster music in the format of a corrido. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I get it. And some of these guys, you know, like the melodies, the way they started doing them, it's totally different from Carlos y Jose and Tigres del Norte. But that shit to me is
But I'll
dope.
tell you this,
It's
like
dope.
everything else, Tony, I ain't gonna sell you on shit because ain't shit happening until it happens. That's just our ideology. You ask a question, that is where we're at, is where we're working on. You know, other than that, fucking we're here. We're fucking grateful. I think this was one of the best fucking interviews career-wise. Hands down, man. My respects. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Any shout outs you guys want to give
I
before?
want to send a shout out to my baby's mamas. Nah, I'm just
Okay, all of them? Tú primero, Sergio.
No, I would say, you know, more than anything, this is really not a fan base kind of interview or show. This is more giving gratitude in depth of where you come from and who you are and why you are who you are in the industry that we're talking about, man. And I hate sounding like I'm just fucking on your jock or I'm saying this and that, but when I see you guys marked an era and I used to mimic who you are, you know, I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you, my brother.
Fucking honored. Never thought I'd meet you in person. You know, nobody could tell me this, you know.
True.
Mello is here. I never thought I'd be able to fucking sit next to him. Like I told him earlier, you know, this is the first time that I remember that we've had a real conversation. You know, we've sat with Frost. We seen ODM the other day, you know, and these things come full circle.
Yeah.
You know, all the hate aside, all the bullshit, all the politics, you know, as people, I think this is one of the most fucking realest shows. Congratulations, man.
Thank
Hands
you,
down.
brother. Anything, brother, you want to...
I'll just mimic what he said. Right?
Okay.
I mean, it is what
Telling
it
you,
is.
I've been selling him since he was little. This motherfucker's for
yeah,
sale.
he motherfucker pimps me
I've
out.
had a
But
fucking for sale sign on him.
He
ever
pimps
since
my
he was
talent out. He's my brother can do it.
All good, brother.
No, but you know, I just to add on what he said, like to me, literally, like I felt that I'm your puppet musically was fucking next level shit. Like when
That's
I heard,
because his girlfriend was a chola. That's the only
no.
reason. No es cierto,
I
no es
mean,
cierto.
and at the time, like I said, we thought High C was Mexican, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, like I said, we were DJs, so we hear the chorus, and you used to do all the scratching and the back and forth, and it was like, fuck, that shit is dope, you know,
Thank
and
you,
the
my
beat,
brother.
and we've been fans ever since. You know, we never thought be sitting here because our industry is a whole nother level from every other genre.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
like you said, you know, there's a lane that we're on that it's difficult for, especially hearing from people like you that want to interview us, is like, fuck, okay, well, that's a different avenue that we're, you know, that they know us, but
Yeah.
you know, it's different. You know what I mean?
Let me say this, that when I was flattered to be, first of all, I was flattered to find out that you guys knew who I was.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, that's God's honest truth, you know. And I had told Shotgun, much love to Shotgun. I was like,
Much love to Shotgun, what up?
They heard of me and they were like, yeah, they know who you are. And I'm like, oh shit, do you think they would do it? And he goes, yeah, all I could do is ask. All right, cool, whatever. So, first of all, I want to say that I thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Francisco, for coming over here. I would like to maybe in the future do another one.
Sure.
This has been fucking amazing for me.
It was dope.
2 requests that I have of you guys. Doesn't have to be immediately, but possibly in the future. I would love for you guys. Let me tell you, I just don't recommend anyone, okay? But I would like to recommend that one day you do a song with Mello, and then one day you do a song with Misfit, because I believe there's two different distinctive sounds.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would be honored on both aspects.
As far as I know, a lot of
Because
people.
as a kid, when I heard fucking Mello doing his shit, I'm like, fuck, what do I gotta do to get next to this dude? And check this out. He's right there.
I'm gonna snitch on you.
He's right
He
there.
used to do your rap at the backyard parties. Ay, sí que vengo sabroso y caliente.
It's not a lie. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys something.
And he passed it as it was him. He's a fraud.
No. Hey, when I tell you that I'm being fucking real, and I would not expect this, dude. I mean, what you say is very humbling, but you gotta look at it from my perspective, dude. I was a fucking kid. So
there's no excuse.
Cuando yo hacía las rimas de él and passing it as my own, because nobody fucking knew, right? I didn't give a shit. Yeah, I can rap in Spanish, motherfucker. You know, and when I say, you know, what do I gotta do to be next to this guy?
Right.
I guess I did it because there he is right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd be honored. It'd be a fucking honor, man.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't see it any other way.
Like I was talking to Misfit earlier, and you know, to me, like I said, let me mention this platform because I think it's important. Latin Beast TV, I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
Which where I discovered Misfit Soto. And when you said who's the hardest Mexican rapper, whatever, I thought I was gonna say it was Misfit Soto, but you know, it's like that's where I seen him. He has a versatile of styles.
Yes.
In the beats and the lyrics, he could deliver the simple rhymes, he can deliver the complicated ones. So I see what he's doing, and to me, it's like, fuck, okay, this is what this genre needs. The ones who complain that, you know, they're held in the Chicano thing and all that thing, but you know, Misfit Soto takes the fucking risk of doing something different, of trying something different to at least feel what's out there instead of just staying in one lane and be like, okay, they don't like me. Like, no, it's like you are doing the same thing you were doing in 1983, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree with
you. So shouts out to everybody who's trying new shit. You know what it is.
Yes. Once again, Johnny Boy, let me give my shout outs. First of all, before I do that, I want to promote the Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY. It is based on a Swami vendor from the city of Whittier who used to just sell mixtapes and who was a huge cornerstone to West Coast hip hop, who gave Dr. Dre and me, myself, an opportunity to be heard. Many artists have come out of this, whether it be JJ Fad, whether it be Dr. Dre, whether it be Eazy-E, Ice Cube, whether it be the whole NWA crew, whether it be High C, DJ Quick, AMG, Second to None. They all came out of the Roadium swap meet, and it all started with this Japanese man named Steve Yano, once again, who's no longer with us. May he rest in peace. So now I'd like to give my shout outs to John motherfucking Elkins, who makes all this happen. Okay, without him, this would not be possible. Also to Daniel Jones, DG Media Clips. You can find them on Instagram, DG Media Clips. You can also find John, JE Visuals. Boomer did it from the Remedy Yard. You could also find Kerry Fujita from South Bay Drones, and Roger Mera, also known as Roger Live, who were a part of filming this Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY, which you could purchase at documixery.com. I would also like to give a shout out to my boy Mellow Mayonnaise for coming through. Also like to give a shout out to my boy Misfit Soto for coming through, and also to my brothers Sergio.
Thank you.
And to my brother Francisco.
Gracias.
Akwid in the house, and we are out.
Diles, you know what it is.
You know what it is.
Fucking right.